Yo, what up? Hello, Joms. Hello, Feels. Hello, Shadow. Hello, Gabriel. Hello, Universal. Universal capitalism! Hello, Gabriel again. Hi, guys. I need to turn off my music because I can't actually have that playing, unfortunately. But it's fine. We'll find something else. But hello. I did some art offline. I can't show it because, well, I drew the lady bits. So, I don't want to get in trouble. Probably not the best idea to show it. I mean, honestly, I was having fun drawing offline. It allows me to have a little bit more freedom when adding details and stuff. It's quite bug, but we do have a lot to do. I only did, fuck, I don't even know. I want to say I did like 10, maybe a little less. And that means I still have 40 or 50 to do. I have to do 50 within today sometime. I did sleep a lot earlier, so I'm probably gonna be up pretty late. I'll probably do quite a few on stream, and then I'll probably do some later off stream or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Well, we got our gamer subs. We got our lo-fi. We vibe. We do art. We art do. And that's me. I'm Art. Hi. Oh yeah, also I think I added a new alert, assuming everything worked. Yeah. So now I believe whenever somebody redeems the drink, it will let me know. Assuming everything is working properly. We can also add it for other ones too, but I didn't fuck around with it too much. I think I also added it for raids, so it should say something with raids when somebody raids. Pretty cool. Oh, little dog one wants to come back inside. 1 second. Little doggo was playing in the rain. It is raining, so he's like, oh, let me do that. We still don't have everybody's confirmation for D&D tomorrow, or Pathfinder, I should say. So I guess I'll message again tonight and see what the fuck is up, because I have no idea. Let's see. Lily, Zargo, and Senno are the only ones that replied. Fork knife. Hello, Corn. Corn, why is your picture of a corn with a man's in the middle? Sexually explicit content? Well, I would show you, but I can't because I did draw boobas. No cocks yet. You see, Lily? No one's gonna respond anyway, so it's not like things are different this week. That's true. The boobiest boobalos out there. Welcome back, Universal. It would be nice if people would respond. It is kind of starting to get on my nerves that we keep getting people who don't respond, and then they are not feeling well last second, shit like that. So, but the problem is, if someone gets removed, I feel like other people are gonna get removed too. We did have a little conversation about participation last time after stream, so hopefully we can improve on some participation and get some shit rolling. Because last session was a lot of fun for me. I got to introduce characters. Some people got to have fun with those characters and talk to them and, you know, enjoy. No. About D&D. Or Pathfinder, I should say. And, you know, I got to introduce characters that I've had, like, ready with... What's it called? Like, not backstories, but a personality in mind, which was fun. I've had other characters that have had personality in mind, but they weren't really interacted, so, you know. If you miss a certain amount of games, you're booted. They really shouldn't miss it. Yeah. No, I mean, I can understand that, because the amount of times that... I mean, I've done it too, right? Like, maybe I get a headache an hour or two before D&D starts, and I'm like, fuck, I feel like shit. Like, I've had a headache all day today. But people don't... Like, everybody gets ready because, you know, the people who did confirm that they would be available are like, yeah, I'll be there. And then we have fucking people who are just like, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not feeling good. Or don't even say anything and then just don't show up, and it's like we have to search them down. People showing up and not being present in a part of the game, which is why we had the conversation yesterday, or not yesterday, last week, about participation. Because, look, I get it. You don't have to participate all the time. Like, that's not what I'm asking. Oh, I need to change the game too. It's not on. Art. I forgot. It's not. We're not playing League of Legends. Art. But yeah. So about participation, because we only have a few people who actually want to participate, and then we had one person who was like, "No." Right at the very end, like right when everybody decided to do something, or most people decided like they wanted to do this, you know. Respect all of you being here. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I like it when people show up, but yeah, when there's nothing to... I don't care if people don't feel good. Everyone gets a turn to chat together. Yeah. And, like, you know, not everyone obviously went and talked to the two chatty... Well, everyone was at the second NPC. But the first NPC was, for example, Lily and Sendo. And they had a decent time chatting with that NPC. But everybody else could have went and talked to other NPCs that were actually meaningful. Like, we've had another interaction where everybody was at one NPC, and there was just practically no interaction with the NPC. It was just like, oh, hey, what's this? Or, what is this quest you were talking about? Which was the blacksmith. So, I don't know. And then until you're showing up. At least you're here for story progression. See, that's the problem. I'm too off the rails. I don't railroad my players. I don't like to, because I've been railroaded really hard before, and it felt not good. So I kind of like have an innate disposition to railroading of most sorts. I can understand some of it for, you know, pushing players towards a narrative or something, but I have a narrative. I like the world to feel alive, so the narrative continues whether or not you are there. If you decide you don't want to go to the main quest and you want to go be adventurers somewhere else, then other people are going to take up what you should be doing and either dying or, you know, the storyline gets progressed, blah, 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 right? Like, there's been several things that have pointed towards where they need to go. They just kind of ignore them and do their own thing, which I'm all for. I love that you guys can kind of do whatever you want, but at the same time, Hello, it's Eric. Also, hi, Set. I saw you a little bit ago. At the same time, it might be too much choice. Because we have several people who don't put any input at all and just like, yeah, whatever the group wants. Like, they have no character desire to do anything other than just follow this random group of people that they met. Hello, DJ. Which, in one turn, is fine. But yeah. It's literally picking somewhere to eat. They say they don't care until we decide. Yeah. How'd my stew come out? Good. I literally ate it all of the night before and today. And I just actually finished the last little bit that I made. So I'm out of stew now. So I had stew for like 5 meals. Sounds like roleplay problem of players being NPCs. Yesn't? Which, I don't know. Like I said, last session was definitely an improvement for me personally because I got to kind of participate and not just guide things along of, oh, it's enemy, you know, you get to attack an enemy, blah, 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 right? I got to participate in the RP. I got to introduce characters, give them, you know, their personality and bring them to life and, you know, do a little funny voice for 2 different wizard people. But yeah, there was, especially last time, it was, oh, everybody decided on this? Well, no, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, then where were the entire time that they were deciding on this? Why, right when they're about to say yes and accept the quest, that you're saying now it's a bad idea? Or I don't like this. It is a problem of some people not being attentive or interested or whatever it may be for whatever reasons. Again, I'm not asking to be there for every single second of, like, you know, RP or deciding what to do or shit like that. But, you know, at least do something. That's what I mean, just show up. Well, no, I mean, showing up is another issue, but actually participate in some way. Like, other than just being like, no, I don't think that's a good idea, right when everybody else has agreed on something. Like, that's not, like, what's the point of that? Everybody has a face. This party does not have a face. We have nobody who makes the decisions for everybody. That's the problem. Nobody has high charisma? It's not I don't think it's charisma in this. Lily might have high charisma. But see, I don't agree with that either. I don't think the highest person with charisma should always do the talking. Because you can be charismatic in different ways. And just because you're barbarian, who might not have a high charisma, wants to say something or talk to certain people, maybe get information in whatever way that they deem fit, should not be, oh, hey, here's our charismatic player, go do the thing that I want to do. I much would prefer somebody who's even not trained in charisma try and talk something out of somebody. Deception or persuasion, I shudder at the thought. And no, it's not struggling with roles of NPCs. It's actually talking to the NPCs. Because in my opinion, well, that too. They can't figure out what they want to do. For For example, last session, we have an RP chat, so people can talk out of session to decide what we're supposed to do, so I can prepare accordingly. 3 people agreed to going on the quest that they wanted to go on, which was fight a wyvern. Then, once we got in session, the 3 people who didn't read the chat said, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea." Or 2 people, whatever it said, right? Whoever denied against it. And I literally called this, I believe I told Lily, I said, this is going to happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. Because I know this session is going to start, and, you know, people are going to be like, I didn't sign up for that. I don't want to go and fight a wyvern. So, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. A lot of my NPCs, unless you were actively persuading or deceiving them, is just talking to them. Like, actually RPing with the character or, you know, talking to them. If you do want to just be like, oh, I want to lie to him and tell, it's like, okay, but what are you trying to lie to him about? I need to know, like, at least some basic info. So. Looked up items ahead of time so that we were in session, we could speed up shopping and not need to go through the book for things, which was all about dealing with the wyverns, etc. Yeah. And shopping can be streamlined if somebody knows what they want, because we don't have to make every shop interaction a 20-minute thing. It's just like, yeah, you can go buy that. Go buy it. Like, it's a basic adventuring item. You're in a huge ass fucking town. You're in Neverwinter. You're going to be able to basically find whatever you need right now. Because there's not too much going on in Neverwinter. And there's a big adventurers guild. And there's a, you know, all this stuff that's in Neverwinter, right? Has a ton of knowledge. RPG questions? What do you mean? RPG questions in, like, what way? Like D&D and Pathfinder? Oh, I mean, we always look up, like, our rules. Second opinion on something? Oh, I'm pretty... So, because this is my first time DMing Pathfinder, I'm basically sticking to all of the base rules. And that's it. I'm not doing, much homebrew with it at all. Yeah, getting the player's interaction / buy stuff, yeah. But always find a way to get interaction out of us regardless of interests. I mean, I do try to be like, hey, you know, what are you doing occasionally? Like, what do you want to do? But the problem is, half the people, or at least some of the people, don't listen. So they don't know what's going on, and things have to be asked 6 or 7 times, like, hey, what's going on? and then, you know, we have to explain it like 6 or 7 times. So yeah, gotta rope those people in. Yes, I can agree with that, but I don't want to force them. They're wasting other people's times. Yeah, which is why I've said something about player participation in the end of last session. I said, like, this needs to change. Because it's not fun. Like, we have a certain amount of people who are trying, and then another amount of people who are just not really caring. Which, if it's going to continue, then I'm going to have to be like, hey, sorry, I don't think you can play. Drop them. See, that's the hard part, Bus, because I know one of them is going to take it very personally if that happens. And it would not be... Well, they should be paying attention. I don't know. Not you problem. No, it's not really me. It's an already. Hello, Loon. How are you doing? Good. That's good. I'm glad you were doing well. Don't pay attention, it gets on my last nerve, especially as a player. Can join you in VC if you want. Sure, I mean, that's fine. I could do that. Let me go to
People shy.
People shy. Yes. Join the server and then I will drag you in. People shy. Hello? Scroll? Why you no scroll? Scroll! Whatever. I'll just do that. People shy. Hey. Hello. Alu. So yes.
My whole thing is that, especially as a player, when people aren't paying attention, it means it, like, as a DM, I understand that you're frustrated, but like you're still getting to do your thing. Like you're still play your game. As a player, it gets on my last fucking nerve because it means I am not playing the game. And my thing, I know you have a lot of people that are very introverted in your campaign, and some people that like don't like to outwardly talk at other people and like interrupt them. But somebody has to be like, hey, this is something that is wasting the time of other people in the game. I would like to move past this and get back to the game. If there's like conversations that are happening that aren't in the game, like
there is a few times, but it's not really,
it's not like an issue.
No, I wouldn't say that's really one of the issues. Like occasionally there's a conversation that kind of derails like what's going on, right? But that tends to happen in games.
Yeah, if it's for like the sake of like a comedy or getting a joke, that's like whatever. But if it's like literally a side conversation, like even if you're like talking in text, it's whatever. Just don't interrupt the DM when they are DMing. know what I mean?
Which most of them don't. I will say I don't think we've had an issue with that per se.
I haven't seen like a whole bunch of the stuff on Sunday nights with the Pathfinder campaigns and those sessions, just because I'm normally doing something else. But yeah, it literally gets on my last nerve, and I'm sure Lily also gets very frustrated, especially because they can't talk to like tell people some things, because I'm sure Lily very much so understands where I'm coming from, but it's like it's harder for her
well,
to
there was
interrupt
definitely a time, so like when Lily first joined, obviously this happened where chat wasn't being looked at because they weren't used to looking at chat, right? Because that's where Lily types. I mean, I missed a few of her messages too, but I've been trying to make sure to read everything because that's where she types.
So actually, Lily, one of my friends is also mute. I can ask her. There's like a Discord thing that you can use that automatically does TTS for you.
She has,
and
TTS.
Yeah, but it joins the server, the Discord server. It's not like it goes through your mic. It's like literally everybody can hear it.
I mean, everybody should be able to hear regardless right now.
That's also fair.
Because, you know, it goes through her mic or whatever. It goes through, it comes out as her audio source.
Yeah, I suppose I don't know the complicity of the or complexity of whatever she uses. But as far as I'm aware, my friend does it very easily. And it's literally one of those things where you type into Discord /TTS or /say, and it automatically types it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, what the complexity of her thing is. And I understand the frustrations, especially as somebody that has, like, that sort of disability, because sometimes people will talk over when you're talking, and that probably gets really frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some times where, like, somebody would start saying something right as Lily starts saying something, and then Lily has to repeat what was said.
That sounds like a giant pain.
But yeah, I mean, I know one person will take it very personally, even if I bring up the fact that I need them to participate more, or, you know, stop being so distracted or whatever. I brought it up with Liam.
So that is one of those things that I would bring it up outside of the session.
Yeah.
You message that person or call them personally and be like, hey, this is very serious, and I need to talk with you about this. Because if you say, like, in a call, they'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, like, one-on-one with them, like, they can't ignore you.
I mean, they could.
You know what I'm saying? No. But I mean, like, Leo's not going to ignore you if it's you saying, hey, this is bothering me personally, and I need to talk with you one-on-one about this, and I need your actual, like, physical input on this. Like, firsthand. Not just, like, offhanded shit.
Offhanded. But no, otherwise,
I mean, like, especially as, like, I've had times where I've been that guy where I wasn't paying attention, but it would also be in times where it was like, I know somebody else is doing something that doesn't pertain to my character or doesn't, like, bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be one of those things where, like, I will know when it's my time to do something, but sometimes I just don't hear it. I think it's good to get, like, clarification on, like, what is making somebody not want to pay attention. Like, asking them for their input, like, hey, is there anything I can do to make you want to pay attention more? Like, I understand that not everything is going to make you want to actively participate, but is there anything I can do that make you want to participate more? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, which is, I mean, I did bring it up, I think, out of session as well, in text, and most people did agree. But another thing is like, I was also like, hey, we have this out of game RP, so you guys don't have to fuck around. You guys can interact in character. You guys don't have to fuck around in game. We don't have to spend a ton of time shopping. We don't have to spend a ton of time talking about shit that doesn't, you know, pertain to either here and now or depending on what it may be, right? and almost everybody agreed to like use it, but then only 3 people have used it out of the 6.
So here's the other thing. How many people are familiar with Pathfinder in your campaign?
2.
Okay.
And it's
Are
not
they
a game.
they're
It's not a game thing though. It's just a lack of
caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a point where, hold on. So it's just not really simple to ask. Getting something out of people when we ask for group input. Yeah. If you get crickets, so you shouldn't move on.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from. If it's you want a group input from something and somebody doesn't answer, you shouldn't move on. You should let that person know that everybody is waiting on them and make them feel embarrassed. Yes, it is negative reinforcement, but it is going to make them not want to do it, especially because you have a group full of socially anxious people. It will make them give you input so that they're not put into a situation like that again. I would know because it happens to me, or it used to happen to me all the time. I would be doing something else, or I'd be watching a video when it's me not paying attention, and you hear a bunch of people say, Bus, why are you not talking, Bus? Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I have to ask them, what are we doing? Catch me up again. And then I feel like a fucking jackass.
So it's one of those things kind of understand that, but
I mean, I don't think
again,
I think it's literally you need to let them know that they're being an asshole and wasting 5-6 other people's times because they're not paying attention. And if they don't want to feel that way, then either pay attention or stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it is a waste of other people's time. Plus, especially since you're streaming it, you're wasting chat's time too, because you're fucking re-explaining everything. So they're being an asshole. It is not you being an asshole, it is them being unreasonable. Because you're not being unreasonable for them when they asked to participate in your campaign for Pathfinder, for them to pay the fuck attention.
Yeah. No, I agree. Which is, again, why we talked about, like, what was going on. Just being there and actively either listening or whatever it may be, definitely helps. Like Leo had an issue with that. He was definitely like not paying attention a lot of the time. Like, even for example, when everybody was on the same page for buying a rune, which is one of the things that you can do, everybody was on the same page for buying a rune, which increases your weapon. And then Leo was the only one that didn't buy one because he didn't pay attention. He actually deafened and muted, and we were like, Leo, are you gonna get one too? And he was deafened and muted, so nobody brought it up.
That's fucked up.
So nobody brought it up, and we were like, you know, it was kind of like a funny thing because it's like, fucking this dumbass was like, how do you guys have all this cool stuff? And it's like, yeah, if you were listening, you would have known.
If my DM saw that somebody was deafened and we weren't on a break or something, if somebody was deafened, he'd probably kick them out of the campaign, period. Because that is you just being completely fucking ignorant of the other 5 and 6 people that you're playing with. Mm-hmm. That is the whole issue. Like, if you are literally being such a fucking dick that you are deafening because you don't care what other people are saying, like, there should be nothing else. Like, unless it's an emergency, there shouldn't be anything else that you're deafening for, ever. Because this is a commitment to other people. Like, you have this time allotted. Like, how many hours would you say that you guys play Pathfinder for on a Sunday?
It depends.
Like 3-4 hours, maybe?
Yeah, 3 is about average.
That is not an unreasonable amount of time to ask for somebody.
4 to 6, yeah.
One time a week, can you please just have this time set aside to play this game, get all your work done, get all your other shit done, play this game with us because you wanted to play it, and I am taking time out of my Sunday to let you guys play this. Not just you, but 5 other people that want to actively participate in this, and you're being a dick. Because, like, I've had shit like that happen. I've had my DM say to somebody, hey, you're fucking making everybody else in the party feel like their time is being wasted, and you need to start changing your shit, or you're not going to be playing anymore. And then you have to follow up on that, say, hey, you weren't paying attention, you're not playing next week. And then if it keeps happening in the next session after that, say, hey, you're not playing at all. That's literally just how I feel about it. It's people aren't respecting the other people that they're with them.
Yeah. And I mean, we did have a conversation. What program do I use for reading chat? I just look at it. I look at Twitch chat. Or are you talking about like all chats in general? I use Restream. So yeah.
That is, like, there's one thing to be said about, hey, there's this conversation with this NPC that I know is actively not involving me. But I at least listen to the first, like, 5 minutes to make sure it's not something involving me. Before I, like, mentally brain check out. Plus, is everybody like sober, or like people drinking when they're playing?
No, everybody's sober.
The other question, everybody's sober, and then that's another thing. Everybody that I play with is we always have like drinks and shit like that.
Most conversations don't even last that long with NPCs, though.
Maybe that's a Pathfinder thing.
No, it's just,
I don't know.
Again, a participation,
it's just a group thing.
And
yeah.
You know, they'll ask like even for example, I set up a whole, hey, I specifically said, figure out what questions you want to ask this character because she is a wealth of knowledge. You can obviously tell that. And they asked her maybe in total 10 questions. Probably less, I believe.
Were any of them like actively like important?
Like the questions? Some of them were. And you ignored my questions?
questions?
I didn't see your question, Lily. I'm sorry. And then she was like, hey, there was one question she specifically couldn't answer. And she was like, hey, go seek out this person if you want to know the answer to that question, and let her know that I sent you.
Did you
and
seek out that person?
Nobody, like, they practically all forgot about the person she told them to seek out. And where.
Holy
like,
shit.
I think Lily wrote it down and maybe someone else wrote it down, but they haven't acted upon it at all.
How many people are new to RPGs in general? Not just Pathfinder, but RPGs in
None?
general.
I don't think.
None. So all of them have played like at least a campaign before.
I would say so. Missed what you said because my stream phone? I don't know. I said, I'm sorry I missed your message, and then I said, then she couldn't answer one question, and one question, she was like, hey, go seek out this person if you want to know the answer to that question, or get, more knowledge on this topic, because she couldn't answer the question, right? And I think, like I said, I think Lily and maybe one other person wrote down what they were supposed to go talk to, or who they were supposed to go talk to, and where.
Yeah. Do you have like an active note keeper?
We have a few note keepers, but we have 3, I think. We have 3 people who like to keep most of the notes. Like Lily has notes, Sendo has notes, and I think Zarko has notes.
How detailed are your notes, Lily? If I can ask. Or like, do you know how detailed people's notes are? Or like, do people like post recaps?
No,
To, like, a
nobody
chat?
does post recaps.
I always post recaps. I always take notes, and I always post a recap unless it's a session of purely just combat.
I've never been a note keeper.
So the reason I post notes is what I'll do is I will take notes, and then I will say, hey, I'm posting these notes in the campaign notes session. Please look at them. And I will do it right there on the spot, and I will ask everybody, did you read the notes? After like 5-10 minutes, I'll say, did you read them? If they say no, I say, read the notes. If they say yes, I say, okay, cool. We're all on the same page. Because like, even if I'm intoxicated, which most of the time I have like some when we're playing, because it just lightens my nerves up and it lets me get into character easier. It is one of those things where it's just like, hey, I am putting work into these notes for the people that may not be paying 100% attention, or like need a reminder before we play next time where we're at and what happened in the last session. And that's another thing my DM does, is he will always, last session, he'll be like, hey, this is where we left off. I'm gonna give you guys, I don't know if there's like a thing like in Pathfinder for inspiration. Is there something like
there
that?
is, and I know 2 people have earned inspiration. You get a 1 inspiration every time you start the game, basically 1 for free. You get 1 free reroll every time you start a session.
Is that in the game rules?
That is in the game rules. It's called a hero point. So you get a hero point every time the game starts. You can have up to 3 per session, and you get them from obviously being rewarded.
So inspiration is only 1, and hero points you can have multiple and stack them.
Yes, but they go away next session, so you can't stack them. So you always will have 1 no matter when you start the session, but you only have that 1 hero point unless you play well in RP and do or get rewarded via whatever it may be, right? Yeah. Which 2 people are going to be earning 1 extra hero point, which is going to be, I think, well, actually 3 more so. Lily, Sendo, and Zargo, because they did pretty good interactions last time. So
yeah, I'm assuming that Lily, Sarko, and Sendo are people that actively participate the most or as much as they can.
Yeah.
But that's also probably because they have the most tabletop RPG experience out of everybody else, yes? Or at least they are the most ecstatic to be there. Those are the people you don't have problems with.
For the most part. I mean, so Sendo's problem is he's not an RPer. He doesn't like to be. Which is fine. Again, you don't have to put on a character voice. You don't have to be,
just pay attention.
Yeah, which he does.
All we ask for, yes. And obviously him taking notes is showing that he's paying attention.
Yeah.
Then maybe here's something else you should do. You should say, hey, to like people individually, or like people that you think aren't paying attention. Hey, can you recap what happened in the last 20 minutes? Like literally cliff notes. You don't have to go into detail. Just tell me what happened. And do that. And then wait until they answer you, or if they say, I don't know. And then you just say, okay. And then you ask somebody else. Like, yes, it's negative reinforcement, but it is one of those things that it will make people...
Advantage, disadvantage rolls are
eventually, it'll make them pay attention.
So Pathfinder doesn't use advantage or disadvantage, really, like, at all. Like, that's not a thing that goes on. So it's all negatives and pluses.
Do, I guess?
You just reroll.
Okay.
So it's just a reroll.
So it is inspiration.
Uh-huh.
But you can stack it.
And you have to take the new roll, so whether or not, it's not like advantage.
It's not like inspiration.
Yeah. It's not where you can choose which one you want, right? It's you reroll the entire dice and you get what you get.
Well, that's how inspiration works too, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I thought inspiration was advantage. It gives you advantage on something, which just takes the highest roll.
I don't think so. But inspiration also lasts between sessions.
Yeah,
and you
this
only
does
can
not.
have 1 inspiration.
This does not. So that's why it's like a thing to earn in session. But
well, that's another thing. My DM gives opportunities for you to get inspiration, and it's by doing 2 things, and it's RPing real good, or paying attention and being able to recap what happened in the session prior when we start. And that's why I keep notes for people to raid over shit. Because me giving you notes is me saying, hey, maybe you didn't see everything that happened in the last session, but I'm going to give this to you so that the DM doesn't think you're an asshole. So you can see what happened. And like, even if you have at least the ability to do that, to check my notes that I took, it shows, hey, I do want to at least pretend that I care.
Pretend you care.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think that if you're not paying attention during DM or campaign time,
Hero
and you're
points are
wasting
inspiration
6
in a
other
sense,
people's
but
times.
not much more powerful / rare MPF because it's much more powerful because you're not getting inspiration rolls from other sources yet. You don't get them as often.
Okay.
Hi, Cookie.
The hero points or the inspiration, you mean?
The hero points.
Yeah, I think inspiration feels more powerful because you can also give it to other people. I think can you do that with hero points?
Not that I know of.
Okay, that's why inspiration is probably it feels better because it's for everybody. It's not just for you.
Yeah, no. From what I know, you cannot give hero points to anybody else. Which, you know, is its own thing.
To be fair, Lily, I've been in situations like that before.
Nothing because of activities standing around in town trying to figure out what we're doing. That is very, very similar to...
Yeah, but to be fair, I also have a fucking guy in my campaigns that I play with that he's like, I live and fucking breathe and eat and shit in D&D.
Mm-hmm. Like, again, you know, I'm not asking for
hobby,
100%
it is his passion.
Participation. Just...
Yeah, just pay the fuck attention.
Understand what's going on.
It's not a hard ask. It's not a hard ask. Maybe make... Do you have a Discord channel for this stuff?
We have a Discord channel for like anything that they want to put in it. They do have personal note Discord things. Nobody really uses them for like if they have a question for me or anything. I think Lily and Sendo have used them like once or twice.
Lily, if you take notes,
so
try to make them Cliff Notes versions. Like give them a generic what is happening, and then post it every time.
No, I'm talking about like the personal one because we've used it like what, once or twice.
When I say notes, Lily, I mean like you're recapping what happened.
I use it.
No, but I use it every time, literally every time, because there are some people that are a little silly goofy, silly goofy that just do not think that it's worth their time.
Mm-hmm.
But make them think that it's worth their time to pay attention.
Do DMs do that? Yeah.
That I don't like DMs because people will look at them and be like, okay, cool. If it's in a channel that is like, hey, this is notes, pay attention to what this says.
Mm-hmm.
Then it actively lets people know, hey, this is something you need to pay attention to.
Could put some post notes, but people don't even read the downtime channel, which is kind of like a note area too. Like it's both. Like they get to do whatever they want while they're there, interact in character, get whatever notes and things that they want to get out.
That's the other thing, right? Make a dedicated channel for notes. Next session or tomorrow, say, hey, I'm making a channel.
I don't even know if we'll have a session tomorrow. Three or four people haven't responded.
Holy shit.
So
okay, here's the other thing. How many people when they're gone do you start a session with? Like how many people
if we're missing,
to not be there for you to start?
If we're missing one, it's fine. If we're missing two, then I don't start it. Okay.
Because my DM says, hey, if we're missing someone, we don't start.
There has been times where like I won't start if we're missing one, but like we've had a few times where it's just like one person isn't that big a deal unless it's like a big combat, right? Like it's set up to have everybody there and participate in the combat, then I definitely won't run it. Like it's a boss fight or something.
So here's why I'm gonna say that's a bad idea. Because you're saying, hey, there is some stuff in here you don't have to pay attention to. That is what you're letting your players know. Hey, we're gonna play without you because nothing is important. everything that is happening, it should be important to some extent. Even if it's not to you, it matters to your party, and your party is also a part of the people you're playing with. So you should pay an amount of attention.
I mean,
Like, you should at least make sure. Like,
I
you should at
suppose, but I
least.
don't want one person to ruin everybody's night, right? Like, especially when it's
Well,
last minute.
that is the point.
Last minute, hey, I don't feel so good. I didn't tell you, you know, several hours earlier, but hey, I don't feel so good. I don't think I can show up.
Well, that's when you say, hey, I guess we're not playing. Because, like, maybe it'll make that person feel bad, but sometimes people just gotta suck it up, and that's how shit goes. I guess you and I have a very different perspective on this, but we also have very different, like, play groups. Like, I have a lot of people that I've known for, like, at least a decade now. Like, I'm sure you know some of the people for, like, a while, but I've literally known most of these guys that I play with for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where if somebody doesn't show up, it's obviously for a good reason. People don't just say, oh, my tummy hurts, and quit. Or, like, don't show up. It's normally something like, hey, I got in a car accident. Hey, my mom is in the hospital. Shit like
conducted.
that. That's my whole thing. Is, like, make those people feel like they have to be there unless they're literally fucking dying. Like, I didn't feel great on Thursday. I have this really bad cold that's been running around. I still fucking showed up to my session. I guess here's the other thing. Maybe run shorter sessions. Shorter sessions?
Or 3 hours is so short already.
Well, if you run... Well, Lily's saying 4 to 6.
I mean, typically, in my opinion, I believe it's been typically 3 hours. 4 could probably be closer to the mark. I mean, it all depends, like, on what's going on. We've had some 2-hour sessions, too. Right?
I would say try to keep it to 3 to less hours. Because when you start getting, especially with the people that I know that you're playing with, some people just have shorter attention spans. Yes. You need to keep them intrigued. And if you can't, make it a shorter session so that they can come into the next session prepared to be intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. I also have, like, partially DM'd a campaign, so that's generally what I try to do. Why do you disagree, Lily? My whole thing is, like, you are doing enough, and if people aren't paying attention after, like, the 3-hour mark, or if there's, like, a lot of RP after a certain amount of time, because there obviously you have some people in your campaign that don't participate in RP as much from what Artie is saying, and it makes it so that other people don't want to be paying as much attention. They'll be on their phone or be on TikTok or Twitter or whatever the fuck, or maybe somebody's playing Honkai or fucking whatever.
Can't eat. No. I don't like this pose. This pose is difficult.
What's the pose?
She's laying down sideways and, like, bending outward. So I need to make like this shorter, but I don't understand quite how to do that. I need to make it more angled and more shorter, and then this side needs to be slightly shorter as well, but it also needs to be long because it's the whole back side of her body that goes all the way down to her hip and then follows along and then down and then out.
Well, so Lily, that's the other thing. I agree with what you're saying. If people can't show up and be invested, that is shitty of them. But you also are playing with a group of people that have social anxiety and don't want to be, and like they probably have like ADHD. I would say, like, I would argue half the people in your campaign have ADHD. I know them and I've seen them. Mm-hmm. They are not going to keep their attention for 4+ hours.
We were talking about Pathfinder and well, D&D in general, and I'm doing art. So
yeah, but Lily, you also are not the same as the rest of them.
But
there are
hello,
some people
Dunbar.
that have their shit in check, and there are some people that don't.
So I'm invested in the session. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There are some people that aren't as invested, and if there is somebody that's not invested, I don't want them in my game. They shouldn't be playing if they're not invested. That is my opinion. If you are not invested, it should be, hey, I'm going to talk to you about this as a DM, and if you're not invested, tell me that. If you feel like there's not something that is intriguing you, pulling you in, let me know that so I can make it more intriguing to you. And if it's still not intriguing you, then get out of my game, because I can't help you.
Time to kill the PC.
Imps VT just redeemed 3 ENC.
Thank you for the drink. Thanks, Ems. Hi, Ems.
And like,
Ink.
my perspective is it's not my DM being a dick. It is you not caring enough about the other 5-6 people's time to give a shit. Well, yeah, Lily, that's what I mean. The DM is putting in all of that fucking work for this game, for the rest of the players, and if you can't even show up to at least pay even a little bit of attention, then that's just you being a fucking asshole, and you shouldn't be playing in the game. But again, it's very different styles between Artie and my DM. Like, I mean, Artie, you know Fail a little bit. You've played games with him. You've seen how he acts. He's a very straightforward person.
Maybe.
He's very blunt.
Really.
He, I mean, he cares about your feelings to a point, but at the same time, he cares more about the quantity and not just individual people. Like, if it's something that's bothering you, and like is
I
on
think
your
we're saying
mind,
the same thing in different ways.
yeah, Lily, I agree with you. We are saying the same thing, but mine is just more blunt than yours. Because mine is a bunch of guys that have known each other for over a decade, and we all know that we deal with shit from each other. And then, like, obviously you guys have known each other for a bit, but probably not 10 years.
No.
And there's probably like some like nails you need to step around, some little things that you don't talk about with certain people because it'll bother them. But that's just how D&D goes. You have to make exceptions for people, then it's probably not a good sign. Like, I have a buddy. Have you met Chaos already? He's
Yes.
chat. He comes in
He
chat.
comes to chat every now and then.
He is a part of that server that
He's a
I'm a
little
part of.
dumb. No.
No, he is a little
Some
dumb.
I can usually
he-
be resolved
he-
with good communication with players. You get out what you put in.
Yeah.
WoW Classic came out and the fucking nerds couldn't stop their WoW addiction for one night. Yeah, no, that's really dumb.
Yeah, one of my buddies, we have this joke now.
We did have a session 0, but the problem is, so we actually had to lose 3 players, I believe it was. So one of them.
How many? You were gonna have a fucking 9-person
No,
campaign?
no. We had to like lose them and replace them.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So one of them went to jail for pedo shit. So I was like, yep, fuck that, get out of my game. Not pedo, sorry. The girl was underage. She was like 17. He was 24. So it's not technically pedo, but it's still underage. Whatever. Went and had sex with her. Blah blah. Got in trouble.
Unrelated. Yeah.
Regardless, so I said nope. Get out. Like we removed him immediately. Then he was friends with the one other person who was in there. That person stuck around for like 1 or 2 games, and then just wasn't comfortable because, you know, his only friend, like, it was a bunch of new people he didn't fucking know. His only friend was gone, basically. So he got really uncomfortable and really quiet. And then he left. But yeah. And then I think we had like one other person. Maybe we only replaced 2. And then that's how Lily and Leo got in.
Okay. So initially you were gonna have like 7 people.
No,
but
initially
maybe-
we had 6. We had
6.
6 and we have 6 now.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, aside from what I've already told you, I don't know what else I can really tell you. It's one of those things where you need to get a general consensus, and you need to be sure of like the people you're playing with. Like I was saying, Chaos, he is a good buddy of all of us. He's good friends with Fail. He's good friends with my buddy Fail. He's good friends with me. I love the guy. I love the guy to death. But I know that if I got him into a D&D game, he would do too much fucking around.
Yeah.
And
Pope.
we wouldn't be able to keep like.
Yo, Pope, thank you for the 20 months in a row, Giga Chad.
We wouldn't be able to like keep on pace. Like it would derail a lot. It would be like turning into side conversations of him saying some offhanded comment, trying to make a joke, make people laugh. Which, like, to a point, that's fine. But doing it too much makes it a problem. And I know that he would do it a lot. Like, I love the guy to death. And I would love to be able to play a campaign with him, but it's one of those things where me and my DM and a lot of our buddies have come to that consensus.
Where it's just one of those things where it would be kind of a pain to deal with.
Especially because we only have 2.5 to 3 hours per session. But yeah, I would say the main thing that you should do is tomorrow, if we play, or if you play, rather, put out a message to everybody. Let them know, hey, I have some concerns about people committing to the game. Again, and if it's going to become a problem, please let me know now. If you feel like you are not committed to the game, so that I can improve the game to make you feel more committed, tell me what it is that you want to see from the game. Otherwise, I'm going to keep playing it the way that it is, and if I find out that you're not paying attention because you don't feel committed, there will be punishments happening. It will impact your ability to play the game.
Yeah, but I also... So, like, I agree with that to some extent, but I also don't want to ruin my relationship over a stupid game with somebody. Because, again, I know somebody will take it more personally than others. Some people are just like that. And that is a stupid thing to say. Like, you know?
I guess so. Again, it comes down to the demographic of the people you're playing with and how they are able to process certain things.
Who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe they won't take it as bad as...
Well, then maybe just put it to like an off-the-side thing. Like, don't put it in front of everybody. The reason why my DM puts it in front of everybody is because we all have known each other for a long time, and we know that we can put it out on the table and nobody's going to feel outed. Aside from us obviously knowing that somebody's doing something.
Amazing progress. Thanks. No, I've definitely been improving. Like, I'm understanding more and more each time I do practice. For sure.
Yeah, the art is looking good.
It's looking better and better each time. I get more and more confident with stuff. Obviously, again, it's still just fucking... We're on day, what, 8? I think? Only been 8 days? Which, I mean, fuck, 8 days is not very much at only about 2 hours.
That's 16 hours of practice.
So...
It's not nothing. Oh, but yeah, I would say it's one of those things you bring it aside, especially if it's like a certain person that doesn't like being like outed in front of a bunch of people. Bring it off to the side and say, hey, I've noticed that you're not paying as much attention. Is there literally anything I can do to make you want to pay more attention? To make you more invested in this campaign? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the DM. As much as I hate to say it, and as much as it shouldn't be that way, it comes down to the DM to make the players feel involved. It's like a stream. It's treat it like as if you're a streamer.
So there are certain things that I have done specifically to get people involved, but like I've brought in aspects of backstory. I've brought in certain things that should ring a bell to said character, or certain characters or things of that nature. And you know, everybody has their backstory and what they're interested in, right? And I've brought in certain aspects especially a few sessions ago, I was like, hey, this object looks really familiar to you, but you can't quite put, your finger on it. Why does it seem familiar to you?
Did
that
everybody
type of
make? Yeah, did everybody make their own backstory?
shit. For the most part, yeah.
Maybe ask them, hey, for everybody else, what's your backstory? And don't look at your notes. Don't look at your sheet. Tell me what your backstory is.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a character you care about and that you purposefully wrote the backstory for, tell me what it is. I can tell you the backstory of every single character that I've ever made. I can, me personally.
Mm-hmm.
If it is one person that can't remember the backstory of their own character or items that concern them or names that concern them, there's a problem going on.
What is the problem if someone doesn't show up for a session? I mean, so to me, one person not showing up is not the end of the world, right? That's fine. They can be filled in, all that type of stuff, right?
Well, it's one thing if somebody's busy, right? Like, that's fine. If you're busy or something came up and you didn't think about it until the last second, sure. And if, my whole thing is if you're sick, just fucking be there, dude. It's not like you're fucking draining yourself of, your ability to function by sitting there and listening to somebody talk for 2-3 hours, right? You're not asking the fucking world of somebody. Even if at the beginning of the session, there's been times where I've shown up and I've been hungover.
Life is more important and shit happens. So yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I mean, Lily. If it's something I've had guys that have showed up and they got COVID and shit like that. Hey, I have COVID, but I'm here because I know that I have the fucking capability to listen to people. You know what I mean? Yeah. That shit, Lily, somebody's 2 hours before the session and they say, hey, I don't feel like it, and you see them playing something else, my DM will literally fucking say to you, you're a fucking cocksucker and I don't want you in my campaign.
Well, we have had a issue with one player being like, oh, I'm tired, I think I'm gonna head to bed a little early, which was fine because we were near the end of the game anyway. But the game went on for another 30 minutes, and then we saw them get on a game, and it's like, oh yeah, so much for about sleeping, huh? Yeah, good.
Yeah, no. That's when you say, hey, you're not playing anymore until you fucking tell me that you know that you can stop what you're doing.
Kill.
Actually true.
Maim. Destroy.
I mean, there's one thing to be said about somebody showing up late because they were in the middle of a game. That shit happens. Sure. If you're in the middle of a league game or you're in the middle of something and you're not in the Discord by 7:30, sure. Shit happens. Sometimes you lose track of time. It's whatever. But if it's you showing up or letting people know, hey, I'm not going to be able to be there, and then you fucking do something else,
so
that's fucked up. Because it's you're literally committing zero amount of brain power other than just fucking listening. If you say, hey, I don't feel good, and I'm not going to really RP that much this session. Is that okay with everybody?
I mean, that's fine.
You guys all know this now, so that if it seems like I'm not being as involved or not paying as much attention, is because I don't feel well. It is not because I mean to disrespect any of you.
Yeah. So what a campaign is basically a long-running grit together of a bunch of players who play together, and they play throughout a story. So DM typically has a story, or even in my case, some things are done by the story by jokes that are made. Some things get introduced into the story because of jokes that are made, and it's just fucking hilarious, right? We introduced a lumberjack because there was an axe in a tree that nobody could pull out, and they were like, one day a lumberjack's gonna come and fuck us up with that axe or something. So it became a part of the story now. It's a meme, it's a thing, it's funny, it's great, right? Because now the axe is gone. So then typically it's just a bunch of friends who get together and play D&D. They shoot the shit, they have fun, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the other version of it, which is a one-shot, which is typically only 1 to 2 sessions. So maybe, 2 weeks at most, 3 weeks at most, where You do a really short story, and it's over within those whatever 6-7 hours.
But it's one of those things where I would say, hey, I understand that sometimes you don't feel like you need to pay attention, but I'm just letting you know that you're being a fucking ass by not having everybody else's shit happening. Like, even if it's shit that doesn't matter to you, right? At least keep an ear open so that you know if something important does happen, that you can fucking be there and paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have played in how many sessions now? How many campaigns have I played in? Like 5 campaigns? 5 full campaigns. Where I've finished and we have beaten the big bad guy. We've played 5 campaigns where we've done that. Nothing pisses me off more than us saying this character's name and then us waiting there and them saying nothing, and then the DM or us saying it multiple times.
It's a great way to
not just like once or twice, but like 5-10 times. We're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And then they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you didn't hear us. It means you were watching a YouTube video, you were playing a game, or you weren't paying attention because you don't care. And then what my DM will say is like, you can tell me to go fuck myself if that's how you feel, if you don't want me to pay attention. But again, it's another one of those things where it's the group dynamic, and obviously you can't do it the same way that my DM can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. But
Lydia
yeah,
has a
that
very
shit like that
pronounced
gets on my
voice,
last
but
fucking nerve.
I can't quite get how I should do. They look weird.
But anyway, have you played the finals yet?
I just want to show up and throw math rocks with friends and have fun with friends.
Exactly, yeah. Lily. That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody just wants to fucking play combat. Everybody wants to go in there and do what their character wants to do, and then kill the big bad guy.
I have no problem with combat, but I don't primarily like only combat. Only combat is not fun to me.
Well, that's because you're the DM, right? Because your enjoyment, my DM has talked to me about this.
My enjoyment
His
comes from the players,
isn't
obviously.
about, yeah, it's the players and then fleshing out the world so that the players can be happy. Their happiness is them setting up this campaign for you that they fucking spent their blood, sweat, and tears into, and you saying, hey, I'm having a good time. That's what makes your DM happy.
Oh yeah, like there's been a few times where like
if you can't fucking show your DM like that,
mystery thing going on, and then like Zargo specifically has been like, damn, I'm like really interested to see where this goes, and it's like, yeah, awesome, I'm glad that you're interested.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's literally just like, tell the DM that you fucking care. You telling the DM that you give a shit and like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, I'm really loving it. That is all you need to do for them to be like, hey, I am running a good campaign. But if shit like what you're saying is happening, where people aren't giving you input and you can tell that they're not paying attention, then fuck them. That's my opinion, is fuck them, or they need to change up how the fuck they're talking. That's the other thing. In person, I understand obviously it's not an option, but I'm seeing like the YouTube chat. Playing D&D in person is how you know people are paying attention. That's why in person you don't hear horror stories of people that are like giving you issues. aside from like people maybe having like a shitty character that doesn't interact well with the rest of their group. Like for instance, in my campaign right now, we have a character that everybody knows, like out of character, that they are an evil character. We have an astral elf who is essentially like a space.
I've never done
Nazi.
in person, so I can't.
I've also never done in person. I would love to. If that was an option to me and I could play with all of my buddies in person, sure, that'd be fucking awesome. But it's one of those things where when you're online, you can't keep track of people aside from literally hearing them and talk with you. Because if nobody is talking, they could be doing anything else.
I don't like this one. So yeah, we have to have a conversation, and it might come down to possibly being like, hey, I need this from you, or you won't be able to play anymore, which
Yes. I mean,
the problem,
you gotta fucking do what you gotta do, because it's one person versus 5-6 other people. You can't be catering to one person when the rest of the group is suffering because of it.
excuse me. Ugh.
And it's not a you problem. It's not a you being a dick, it's a them being a dick, because they're the ones not giving the attention that the game that you are putting your time into running deserves.
Thank you. Dedicated enough group. Yeah, when you have a really dedicated group, and I can understand, certain players do take longer to get relaxed enough about a group to be able to RP and be able to put themselves in a character. I've had, a few games where people are like that. But one of the best games of my life, sadly, ended because, again, we're going back to the guy who did things. He was also a DM, and one of the reasons for me being a DM is because we had a ton of fun. We had very, very invested people who cared about their characters, who liked to RP. There was a good balance of combat. We had a decent amount of freedom. Like, we had a story that we were going for because Dungeon Master, basically they run the whole game. They create the world, they create everything by a rule book. They make sure everything works properly, basically.
Like, there's gods in the game. Your DM is the omnipotent being that controls every aspect of the game and can kill you whenever they want to.
Yes, they could. Would they?
Say,
probably not.
And they say, oh, rocks fall, you die.
They're the console the game is played on. Yeah, exactly. They are the console the game is played on.
Pretty much. They have full control over everything, but obviously they don't do full control over everything because player interactivity is what makes D&D or Pathfinder what they are. A role-playing game. Because otherwise it's a story-driven game that doesn't care about your decisions and you just are railroaded through it. Which isn't
Do you in creative mode? Yes.
Yes, a DM is in creative mode, and everybody else is the Minecraft cow that is going through their daily life. But yeah, no, I mean, it sucks that there are some people in your campaign that aren't showing that they care as much, or showing that they can't be fucked to pay attention, because that's just them being a shitty person. I would definitely, as a player and have DM'd part of a campaign I didn't get to finish, it would make me very upset if I saw stuff like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but have you played the finals yet, Artie?
I have not. I've thought about playing it. I also wanted to play some Enlisted. which
Uh,
it's free. It's basically you get how it works is you go into the game and you have a squad that comes with you. It's all controlled by AI. So it's player versus player, but also AI versus player. So everybody in your squad is controlled by AI, and you can switch between them at any time. So basically, you have like 5 lives. So you can tell your squad to like go sit in a building, and you know, poke your head out. And if you get shot, then you can immediately switch to one of your next squad members and go and counter shoot the guy that shot you, right? If you know where they shot you from.
yeah. Oh, is this? I may have heard about this game.
It's pretty cool. It's interesting.
It doesn't have much of a player base though, from what I'm aware of, right?
I don't know. I know it has cross-platform, so.
Oh, is this like a new game?
Newer?
I might be thinking of a different game.
I don't know about how new. They're the author of Mad Libs. Yeah, that's kind of true too. Parties are trying to make a fun story with each other in tandem. So obviously, if you're not a person that can handle a long-term campaign, one-shots are definitely the way to go then.
Yeah, because it's a base of understanding
So, yeah.
the game. Also, the other thing you can do is play in an Adventurers League, if you have one at like a store near you.
Which is
So,
basically drop in, drop out.
Yeah, it's basically no holds barred. You show up whenever you are available to, or whenever you want to, and you can just come play D&D. They have a character sheet up for you, and it's at level with everybody else. You pick something, and you just hop right in. You don't need to know anything about what happened last time. You just show up and you hop right in. Exactly. You saying that, Bull, is exactly what my point is. You not paying attention, or like a player not paying attention, or not showing up at the last minute, or anything like that, is ruining the experience of the other 5 players and the DM at the table, because it is making it so, in my case, we don't get to play, or in Artie's case, we have one less person to do RP with.
Hell, the RP's not even there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another problem entirely, but I guess that's the other thing. My DM makes it so that he says before we like start a campaign, he's like, hey, this is the level of RP I want you guys to bring, so that I know you're engaged. That's why it's easier for him to approach us, because if we're not RPing, everything that we do in RP, that's another thing he said. If we are talking out of character, he says, unless it's like obviously something out of character, he's like, if you say something that like can pertain to somebody in game, your character is saying that, and I don't care if you're saying it in character or not, like with your voice and whatnot. So like, it makes you have to watch what you're doing. You have to pay attention.
I understand that to some extent. But yeah. Want to do a West
'Cause, I
Marches
mean-
game if we win the lottery and have free time required? We did a West Marches game for a while.
Because, I mean, if it's something really that important that you want to talk to somebody out of character, just message them. Right? That's my opinion. Just fucking message them if you really want to talk with them outside of character.
The lobster forpter just became a moon
The
shrimp.
lobster. Thank you for becoming a moon shrimp.
The lobster forpter BR became a moon shrimp.
That said it twice for some reason.
I don't know what a fucking West Marches game is. Never heard of that in my life. You'd have to ask Cardi.
West Marches? It's very similar to basically the drop in, drop out stuff.
Oh, okay, so it's like an Adventurers League.
Is that also D&D? Also, for somebody getting into D&D, I would recommend 5th edition.
Yeah.
Um,
That's, I mean, I still play with that. Like,
We don't do it anymore, but yeah.
There are some people that are Pathfinder or 3.5 supremacists because they play similarly. 5e is very beginner friendly, and it is one of those things that I would say generally people enjoy. I would say that most people that play D&D say 5e is fine, that everybody can play it. But if it's one of those things that's like 3.5 is the only thing I'll play with, I wouldn't play with a person like that, because they're probably expecting a different kind of player that is more like knowledgeable.
Except for the DM. Yeah, 5th edition is really hard on the DM.
Well, yeah, but the
'Cause
DM
it's-
is the person getting it together.
Well, no.
Okay.
So 5th edition, because I don't know if you haven't played Pathfinder, have you, Bus?
I've not.
So, 5th edition is like, oh, ask your DM, or the rules are very vague. It is very different in Pathfinder. Pathfinder has very exact rules for almost any question you have. Oh, can I do this? Well, actually, there's rules for that. So, yes.
I mean, that
Like,
exists with 5e too, but there's
not
like,
to the
obviously
same
some-
extent at all.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously there are some niche situations in 5e that like even my most experienced player will be like, yeah, not 100% sure on that.
Like, there are some crazy rules and just cool shit you can do in Pathfinder because it has those rules that are there.
Yeah, but that sounds like misery for the DM, which I wouldn't.
No,
want to
it's
put on
really,
anybody.
really handy. Like, it's nice having rules for practically every question that needs to be answered. Obviously, you can play your own way, and you still have your own,
Yeah,
way
like
of.
the rules don't dictate how you play your game. Well, they're just a baseline.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's actually what my current campaign is with spell jamming. It's actually super fun. It's actually probably the most fun I've had with the campaign so far.
Just be your DM could figure it out. Yep. Pathfinder started as a 3.0 mod and has way more rules heavy. I always preferred the rules light because I'm pretty good with coming up with stuff on the fly, but I can understand wanting it in written. Yeah, so for example, something that I run basically being helpless, even in 5th edition, because HP is dumb. And in certain regards, like, for example, you work your way into the castle, you pretend to be one of the guards of the king, whatever. Let's say the king has 10 HP, right? Your crossbow, on average, does what? A 1d6 plus modifier? So, like, or 1d4, whatever it does. Or a dagger does 1d4 plus your modifier, and you stab the king. Oh, the king doesn't die because he only took, let's say 6 damage and he has 10 HP. That's dumb, in my opinion. That's fucking stupid. If you put a fucking crossbow to somebody's head who is helpless and not expecting it at all, like you put a crossbow to somebody who's not in combat or shit like that, they're probably going to die. It also puts urgency on a person. Like, let's say, oh, you see an enemy with a dagger. The dagger's at the princess's throat. Okay, the princess could probably survive one stab because, the dagger probably doesn't do enough damage, right?
Well, but you don't RP it like that.
No,
Nobody fucking
but when
RPs it
people
like
when
that.
people are in combat, sometimes they do though. But like getting the drop on
Yeah.
somebody, or like a helpless guard, let's say a guard is sleeping. Yeah, you can easily cut their throat. You're not gonna wake them up by stabbing them. Like what? No. Like
Well,
it doesn't
yeah,
matter who
that's
you
a-
are. You don't
that's a-
have to be an assassin to, kill somebody who can't fight back at the moment.
Well, again, that's a rules and DM discretion, right?
Yeah.
Like my DM would say, "Oh, this character is unconscious." You don't kill them right away just because they're defenseless.
Well, no, I feel like you would. In certain aspects. If I take my knife and I put it in somebody's throat, they are dead. Or sever their fucking spinal cord. Like, if I shove it in the back of their neck and then they are literally physically impaired, and it's like, yeah, they have 40 HP or whatever, but they were helpless. I mean, what could they do to stop me? They didn't wake up. you know, where everybody's asleep. You don't necessarily have to be an assassin to be able to do that.
You're right, but I guess here's how my DM goes about doing stuff like that. Normally, if there's like characters that are unconscious,
I'm not saying
it's-
like, oh, you're just because you're unconscious you die, right? Like, I'm not saying it like that.
it makes you vulnerable, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is true, which is why in 5e,
Which-
I think you have advantage on...
It also gives you, well, I know critical. It's counted as a critical
Or
hit.
no,
if
it's every... Yeah, if you attack somebody that is unconscious, it is a guaranteed critical hit.
Which again doesn't always kill them either. And
Well, yeah, but it would be really lame if it always was like that, because then you could cast sleep on a bunch of people and you could just one-shot them.
I mean, you kind of can anyway. But sleep only works on people who don't have enough HP. Regardless.
Yes, you're right, but I think that HP bar is like 60 or something like that, so most level 6 or lower characters, which, like, that's pretty stupid.
But it also gives urgency to, oh, our, you know, fucking, let's say one of the player characters gets taken and, you know, they're being held hostage. It's like, okay, your player character has like 80 HP or something like that, but they have a knife to your throat. Why wouldn't I just take the damage and then run away? Or take the damage and whatever. Like, it gives no urgency because HP is, you know what it is. It's HP. It's technically a resource. It's like, oh, the most this guy could fucking do is, even if he did crit me, let's say he can do 40 HP, I still have half HP left. I can either get away or my team can fucking fuck them up, right?
So here's the thing. You're right, and here's why I'm going to disagree with you, because your character doesn't know that. You're talking about it from a gamified meta perspective. You are trying to play, at least...
Yes, but most people will play like that. I mean...
Nobody I have played D&D with will play it like that. And the reason why is because we are playing a role-playing game. We are not playing fucking XCOM. We're playing a role-playing game where we are playing this character, and any reasonable person who is a humanoid that has a knife to their throat will be scared in that situation. Will not want to do anything. I don't care if it's a level 1 assassin and I am a level 19 character. If somebody's holding a knife to my throat, my character will play like they are scared because it is somebody holding a knife to my throat, and that is in character and in RP, and that is what makes stuff interesting.
Yeah, but
if
again,
I played like
people...
if I played like I had 200 HP, that'd be fucking dumb, and it would make the DM's job way harder.
But people do play that way, though. I mean, first-hand experience,
in
obviously.
my opinion, those people, in my opinion, are wrong and assholes.
But it's also
And
rewarding for players too, because let's say you do
play like that, sure, yeah, then your character isn't impaired and doesn't have to worry about what other people are doing. But
glancing hit when you're high HP, you're at full HP being held in that too. Take 1d4 plus 4 damage. You have 60 HP. The damage you would take be like a slip, a glancing slice that doesn't kill you. Yeah.
And again, it comes down to DM discretion. Like, sure, the DM can play like we have 100 HP, but the DM could also say, but then the DM could also say, hey, I don't care if you're a level 19 character. This level 1 assassin, while you're asleep, came and stabbed you in your spine and you're dead. I don't care if you have 10 billion HP. Again, it's all about the DM versus the rules versus the players.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how you establish your campaign. And that's why it's very important from session 1 and session 0 to establish, hey, this is how I'm going to run the campaign. This is what I expect from everybody every session.
And I told them, like, there will be situations where either an NPC or you or even you guys catching somebody who is helpless. Because, like, they just can't fight back against whatever situation, whether it be you stealthed in and you're holding them at fucking, let's say, crossbow point, right? Like, there will be situations where that could happen, or somebody surprises you guys and takes one of the players hostage, because the thought of a character possibly being able to die can definitely, influence what would happen, and maybe the character either panics or can come up with a good strategy to get out of it alive, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to just, oh, you're dead, right?
But that's the thing. My DM's not afraid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because so last session I just played in, or actually not last session, session before I just played in. I'll give you an example. We're in a spell jamming campaign. It's the Light of Xeraxis campaign for D&D 5e. We showed up to a planet that is a moon, ran by some person named Vocath.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we were told by one of our crewmates that isn't one of like our party, but like an NPC, friend of the captain of the ship. He said, if you want to find out about this, then you want to participate in this person's blood sports that they have, this arena thing that they do.
Mm-hmm.
We go in, we talked with the guy, he put us into this arena. There was a point where my Duergar, which is like a dwarf, I don't know if you know Duergar, it's like a underground dwarf, was grabbed by a 4-armed creature by each one of my limbs. And if somebody didn't do something in the next second, I don't care how much HP I had, my DM said, I will rip all of your limbs off and you will be dead with a new character.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our 10th session.
I, like, in combat, like, let's say somebody casts sleep and put the party to sleep, right? In combat, you would not be able to be one-shot that way. That's not what I'm saying. Like, it's out of combat, you make good choices, you make, whatever it is, or maybe rolls went well, shit like that. It is primarily an out of combat thing. Obviously, there would be in combat stuff like a fucking, let's say a giant, for example. You guys fucked around with a giant, and giant grabbed one of the players and started squeezing them. They're not gonna fucking survive that. Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, my thing is in combat situation. We got into combat and my DM said, you're going to fucking die unless somebody does something about this.
mm-hmm.
I rolled to do a check. He said, oh, you missed this dexterity check. I fucking grab you by all of your limbs. And I said to my party members, I said, I'm going to die unless you do something. I said that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay, I polymorph you to be a giant fucking ape. You are now a huge ape that can't be grappled by this creature.
Ape.
Because it was also a huge creature, and it can grapple anything that was a large creature or less. My party member said, I'm going to polymorph you. You are now a huge, giant ape. Huge as in the size of the creature. Giant ape as in the name of the creature.
So it was an ape escape. True.
Yes, I exactly ape escaped. And then I proceeded, ending that session with me being a giant ape. We went to the next session, and I fucking rocked the jaw of the thing that tried to grab me. That's just how my DM plays it. I like how my DM plays it because it lets me know that I need to pay attention and that there are stakes, and my character can die at any time in any way.
Yeah, and
because,
for example, what Lily said. So they were in a cave, right? And there were non-hostile creatures that they were trying to pass, though they started fucking with the creatures, so they became on edge. The creatures were on fire. They were literally like lava creatures. They weren't hostile, but when you get close to them, they do passive damage, right? So one of the players took some passive damage to get by them because it's only like a 10-foot area, and they're they burn within a certain amount of radius of them, right? So one of the players took a little bit of damage, and Leo, because he wasn't paying attention, thought that it attacked him. So then Leo said, I'm going to shoot it. I said, okay, roll. And, like, everybody was like, no, why the fuck are you shooting it? I said, no, roll. Like, he said he was going to shoot it. He's going to shoot it. He shot it, and obviously he didn't kill it in the one shot, and it screamed, summoning basically a lava elemental, or a fire elemental, that proceeded to fuck up almost 2 players. Hello, Zach. It killed Leo and then burned his corpse, and then it went for the next character who was behind them, which I think was Zarko.
Yeah, you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like Leo should have been paying the fuck attention.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the first time something like
And
that has
after-
happened.
Here's the thing: you would think after him having to roll up a new fucking character, he had to make a new character. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, he did. Because
Sounds
they
like-
weren't a high enough level to res him.
Yeah,
So.
sounds like after something like that happening, that you should fucking pay attention after that. That
Innocent
would get
Shadow,
me.
yes.
That would get me to fucking start paying attention. If he can't pay attention after that, you should kick him out of the game, or have a very, very serious conversation again with him, and say next time some shit like that happens, you're fucking out of the game.
There was another time where Leo walked away, and I don't think he told anybody. And he was like, "Oh, I was BRB." It's like, yeah, but you didn't tell anybody. And then he came back and proceeded to, because they were on a player map, proceeded to walk through a door that was closed and right into a room full of enemy bad guys that proceeded to attack him right as he walked through the room. And he was like, "What? Why?" It's like, "I was AFK." It's like, yeah, you were AFK. You fucking didn't tell anybody, and you proceeded to walk through a door full of bad guys when your party was nowhere around you. The door in front of you was closed. What other way would they be going? Like, why would they go through a door and leave it closed instead of, backtracking, which is what they did. They backtracked. And fucking, anyway, he almost got fucked there for not paying attention or walking away and not telling anybody.
Yeah. If I'm free next time you do one of these sessions, I would love to be able to sit in the VC or just give my input on shit. Like, obviously I don't know Pathfinder, but I know RPGs. And especially RP. I would say that I'm one of the people in my games that RPs the most, because it's how I enjoy the game. I play my fucking Dwergar and I'm like, oh, don't worry about what you're doing, but it's not one of the problems that you need to have. We'll worry about it later. I just love being in character because it enhances everybody else's experience by me being my character. If I'm a Dragonborn and I say, I cast Firebolt. I say, hi, how are you doing? Lovely weather we're having.
I didn't ask how big the fucking room is. I cast Fireball.
Yes, that's my character. That's exactly. I have a fucking sorcerer Dwergar, and that was one of my other characters too. So we have a cross. What do you call it? Like a multiverse campaign session where it's like two of our campaigns kind of cross over with each other. One campaign that we have finished and went to a kind of like to be continued question mark kind of ending before we started a new campaign. And we are semi picking up with that with the current campaign we're in.
Mm-hmm.
So like the character I'm currently playing, or the character I was playing before, was a teacher at a school. He was a wizard. And now the character I'm playing is a sorcerer who was the best student of said wizard. And basically learned everything that he knows from him, even though he's a sorcerer and he has innate like abilities of spell casting. He learned how to like perfect this and shit like that. Like kept up on his studies, did all that, yada yada yada. And it's stuff like that that makes me want to play D&D. It's having the ability to fucking give my input, choose how my character acts, and saying, I don't care how you're playing the game, I'm playing the game how I'm playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that if somebody is fucking making it so that other people can't play the game, that they should go fuck themselves. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but I would also pick my characters or my players more carefully, I guess.
Last session, Artie wanted me to touch a filthy necromancer set. Wow, why are you hating on the necromancer? Come on, he just wants some friends forever and ever.
Yeah, I mean, Lily, I'd probably be hesitant too. I mean, there's plenty of times where I've had shit like that happen.
He wants forever friends.
But then I'll have a character in my party who is a fucking dumbass in character. He'll be like out of character. He'll say to us, yeah, I know it's a bad idea, but my character don't know that. And he'll go up and he'll touch that staff. He'll be like, yeah, I touched that staff. I fucking know my character.
So
what is that?
She touched the orb. That's true. So basically, what it was is Lily and Sendo both wanted to they both ended up going to the same place
together,
which was a magic school. And
like you're talking backstory.
No, like this happened in game.
Okay.
So they wanted to go to the magic school because Lily wants to learn how to basically heal undead, because in this positive energy hurts undead like a lot, like it's really bad.
So like divinity rules where like healing hurts undead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's bus. It is a magic school bus. And Lily's character wants to be able to take care of the undead that are in the party and learn how to basically heal them as much as she can. So they met a necromancer who has no classes because the school of necromancy is not commonly accepted. Like, it's not morally accepted for most of it.
Like in most universes.
Yeah, like, it's an acceptable school. People don't want to actively learn it. So this guy is, like, rather lonely. And he was so excited when two people walked through his class doors, and, you know, basically his way of testing whether or not they could actually cast magic was, hey, touch this orb and see how it reacts, basically.
Oh, I'd feel so bad. I'd touch it, even if I was my character, even though he's not an idiot. He'd be like, "Oh, I feel bad for this guy. Sure, I'll be your friend and I'll touch the staff."
No, he's like really hoping they come back. He's so sad. He's so excited, and he's like, man, everybody wants to learn, you know, divinity or all this other magic. No one cares about necromancy.
Again, that's one of those things where it's like, it's all based on how the DM describes it and how the player interprets it. That's why we have like ability checks, or like that's why you can be suspicious of characters. Like in D&D 5e, I can be like, do I really think that this guy is being sincere about what he's saying?
Maybe they don't.
And then the DM can either default be like, yes, you know he's being insincere, or they can be like, roll an insight, see if you think he's being sincere. Because I mean, somebody can be so sincere that you roll a 5, and you're like, yeah, they're being insincere, but the player doesn't know that. They don't know if they succeeded or failed.
Well, that's why actually, I think it was Dimension 20. They do a particular way of doing, so they ask for both persuasion and deception at the same time. And then
that's cool. Actually, I like that a lot.
So you roll both of them to the DM, but you decide whether you're going to tell the truth or tell a lie. So you don't know, like, nobody knows whether you're lying or not. And it's the same for like a person trying to lie to you, right? So
you mean like
they roll both.
You mean like character versus character? Like your characters like
that and just NPCs in general.
I actually like that a lot. I might have to
talk
to my DM about that. That'd be cool.
Because then that way nobody knows unless they obviously know what the character knows, right?
Yeah, obviously.
It's like, yeah, you can be truthful. You can tell them whatever. You don't have to use either role. You can just tell them.
But again, that's one of those things where it's like, in my campaign, my DM probably...
Mulligan stole it after that. Ah, okay.
In my campaign, my DM probably wouldn't do that. And the reason why is because he knows that we're not going to be... I mean, like, for sure, I 100% agree with you. That's awesome that he does that. But my DM wouldn't do that because he knows that we, as characters, aren't going to know that information unless our person that is saying this explicitly tells us that information in a specific way, right? Like, you can lie to your party, but I mean,
absolutely.
The players will know. The characters won't know, unless it's one of those things where it's like you specifically talk to your DM, hey, I don't want anybody else to know about it, and then they come to a consensus with you.
Like in that campaign I was talking to you about, where I was playing the wizard teacher guy. I was playing the wizard teacher guy. We had a guy in our party who was a like a shapeshifter, and we didn't find out that he was actually a chaotic evil character until pretty much like the last session, literally the very last session of the campaign. And it was a huge twist, and it was a huge surprise for everybody. Nobody knew, except for the DM and the guy playing that character. We were all pissed at him, but we were all happy about it because it was kept secret the whole time and nobody knew. And that's one of the things that makes D&D and RPGs so beautiful, is literally anything can happen. And that's why you need player input to play the fucking game.
True. Player input is important.
Hi, Kit Kat. Welcome in. I don't know if I already said that.
I said hello.
Oh, my head hurts. I think I drank too much. Somebody type the emote. Bus is home.
Busters.
I can't. That emote is so dumb. I don't remember where I found that emote from, but it made me laugh so hard. Holy shit.
Willie made a necromancer that was basically talk dead to resurrect the dead and catch killers. Pog. Something D20 came up with a narrative role where a situation could go incredibly well, incredibly poor, and take either a nat 1, 1 to 9, nat 20. I mean, to be fair, what is a necromancer except for just a late healer? That's all. That's all they are.
Yeah, just a healer that was like a turn too late.
Yeah, they're just a little too late.
It's not all necromancy is evil. It just might be looked down upon by certain people.
Cuff 'em, boys. So, you know. I didn't lose my magical degree for nothing. I didn't get my medical license revoked for nothing. True. True. So true.
Can you save him, Doc? I can, but you're not gonna like how I do it.
That's great. We love necromancy.
Yeah.
Unless you're that guy from fucking Baldur's Gate and you're a wiener.
What guy from Baldur's Gate?
I can't remember his fucking name. The Lich dude.
I'm not sure. Are you talking
Well,
about Withers?
No. What actor are you on in Baldur's Gate?
I've beaten the game like twice.
In the, I guess the final boss in Act 2. Or not the final boss, but like the guy. Well, yeah, no, the final boss in Act 2. That guy, the Lich.
Well, he's not a lich.
Isn't he explicitly called a Lich? Yeah, not
Markul?
Merkel's.
Markul?
Not Merkel, but the guy who summoned Merkel.
Yeah, he's not a lich. He's just undead
Didn't they?
guy.
They,
Hello, Izzy.
I swear they explicitly said he was a Lich.
I don't think they did. How am I? I'm good. How are you?
Now I gotta look this up. Thorn.
Ketheric Thorn.
Ketheric
He's an
Thorn.
Oathbreaker.
Oh yeah, he's an Oathbreaker paladin. That.
And he sided with Markul because Markul could bring his daughter back to life, which is what happened. He's not wizardly enough to be a lich. Yeah, lich requires magical power, and he's definitely not that. Was that thing next to you? That is Bus. That's my little Bus Chan.
Hello. Who said what's that thing? Me.
Is he? He's a little dumpling, kind of. You know what? That's what Eden Blobbins are. They're dumplings.
Yeah. That you eat them and they're full of nice bread filling.
Nice bread filling.
Moonrise Towers. That entire thing was a fucking roller coaster, dude. And that entire area. I think I was in that entire area for like 10 hours, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that.
Full of red
act,
bean
but,
paste.
But like just the Moonrise Tower and underneath it. So he does know necromancy, but he's not a lich.
Maybe. He might know necromancy.
He does, because he summons skeletons before Merkul arrives.
But that could just be a power given to him, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, which would make him a necromancer, which would maybe make him a lich. Even if it's not him, like, explicitly being one, like, he became one in his goal to resurrect his daughter. Like, there's stories like that all the time. The bad guy is actually a good guy with different intentions than the players. That's called a lawful evil character, normally. It is, they have laws, but it's the opposite of what a standard good person would be. Pastel.
What am I drawing today?
Roll with some...
A bunch of jesters.
A lot of women.
Yep, that's what I'm trying to learn.
With their boobies outlined. Teehee.
Well, I mean, they are naked models, so.
Yeah. But because there's no nipples, Twitch can't ban you.
Yep. Well, you know, underboob is not allowed apparently, but you know there can be ladies who shake their titties and have.
No, but it's artistic interpretation, Artie.
True.
That's the difference.
1 second, I gotta pee.
How we doing? Lich is, I know a lich is not explicitly a necromancer. I just thought that they said that Thorn was a lich. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Because a lich is infinite, right? They can't technically die. Like, if they were to quote-unquote die, they come back after enough time, I believe. Lily? I'm pretty sure. Balthazar is closest to a lich if you fight them in shadow. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is true. Only time they'll die is if their planetary is destroyed. Yeah. Which, I don't know if I've ever fought a lich in my campaigns. The closest thing to a lich that I've ever fought...
Never turned.
Actually, I don't want
Phylactery? Yes.
I don't want to spoil a D&D campaign, but the closest thing I've ever fought to a lich, technically, was Strahd, I guess.
Well, Strahd's a vampire. He goes back to his coffin.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, how the campaign turns out. I don't know if you've gone through that campaign or not. Or, like, you know how it ends.
Not particularly, no.
Then I won't go into more detail.
We did a Curse of Strahd thing, but it's actually where I played my grapple monk for the first time. God,
that's where I played my monk for the first time.
God damn, it was so much fun. So our DM, we started at level 10, so it was like a one shot with
Oh, like you were fighting Strahd.
Not right away.
Okay.
We were on our way to his castle.
Oh, so he took Curse of Strahd towards, like, the end of it.
Yeah, basically.
For a one-shot. I mean, that's fine.
And with that, we ran into an aboleth on our way there. and I proceeded to jump in the water, because, level 10 monk, grab the aboleth, because, monk and grapple is pretty fucking strong if you build for it, then proceeded to pull the aboleth out of the water, and pull it onto dry land. So it was kind of fucked because I had it grappled and my whole party was surrounding it now.
That's one of the things I never got to do with my monk in my so the campaign I played in. I did play Curse of Strahd for a bit, but we didn't get to finish it. I think we got to like level 6 or 7 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the other campaign that I played a monk in, which was the last campaign I played, we were in the Underdark, and there's like one area of the Underdark where there's like water that's like worth traversing or fighting on.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got to like utilize that in combat. So the closest thing I ever did was just run up walls and shit like that, which is awesome still, but...
Good night, Dunbar. Sleep well. Hello, Mai. Yeah, if you ever get the chance to play a grapple monk, very fun, especially if you go by one barbarian, because then you get rage and you get advantage on all your grapple checks.
One of my buddies right now is playing a Dwergar...
Or you just stun them and then they can't oppose your grapple.
Grappler, Druid, Barbarian, where he starts off combat by using his innate Dwergar ability to enlarge himself, then go into Barbarian Raid, then shapeshift into a Void Spider, which is now a huge Void Spider instead of large, and then proceeds to grapple enemies with itself, so that the rest of us can attack it. And because he has like 8 legs, he can still attack it without like there being an issue with him like having advantage.
Oh, you can attack a grappled creature regardless. There's no disadvantage.
Oh, I know.
Or anything.
Oh, I know. Just in flavor, it's really cool. Oh.
Damn Daniel.
Damn Daniel. Oh, we've been talking for an hour. Doesn't feel like it. Hour and a half, maybe. Oh, I got to play with my new Magic deck yesterday.
Yeah, how was
It went really bad, actually. So when I did like playtesting with my buddies, I went undefeated in the sets that I played.
that?
So like I went 3-0 in sets, but like we went to like game 3 a lot of the times. And
Let me see if it actually worked, because I feel like Dwergar things wouldn't apply once shape change happened. I think they do.
need to see if that actually works.
Well,
I feel like
I think you would have to do it after.
No, so you can't. It does work as well. It does with how in character, because the way that enlarge works is it enlarges, and it's an innate thing, and then I think as far as my DM and all of us read, it stays through transitions, and then you can barb rage because it's Barbarian Rage makes it so you can't cast spells. So when you go into you can wild shape because it's an ability. But I also think Enlarge is an ability as well.
It drops con on it. True. Enlarge would drop con.
No, because it doesn't, because
Rage
he's a Dwergar, it's an innate ability, so it's not a spell, so it's not concentration. It's a specific Dwergar class ability or race ability. So there's no concentration needed to be able to maintain being enlarged. It's just a part of the race.
Because I know you can cast certain spells before you go into wild shape, and they do continue.
Yeah, for sure. But because it's an ability, you don't need to maintain concentration because it's a race ability.
So you cast an enlarge reduce spell. Oh, there you go. Good fuck.
Well, then maybe it's just how my DM perceives it.
I'm a stickler for rules. I like a lot of rules. Like, I understand rules are cool. It can be fun, right? For example, like Leo, he has an item that retracts his weapons back to him, because that way he can throw javelins and not have to go and pick them up, right? So as an action, I believe it's one action, you get 3 actions per round. Or maybe it's 2 actions, and it pulls all 3 of the javelins back to you. He was trying to be like, well, couldn't Nimbus grab on? It's 2 actions? Okay. Couldn't Nimbus grab on to the javelin and then be pulled back with me? I was like, fuck no. That would be ridiculous.
Dude, can you imagine that?
So you give a character basically like unlimited movement, because let's say, because I don't think it has a range of how far it pulls them back from. You just have a character grab onto it, and then all of a sudden they're yanked back by this like javelin and get to move all the way to you from a position that they put themselves in, and they were like in a bad spot.
That's essentially saying I throw the character from range without touching them.
I was like, fuck no. He's like,
That's
yeah, but rules
stupid
of
as
cool. I'm like, no, that would be broken as
Rules
fuck.
of cool. So here's what my opinion on that would be: is would a character does the spear weigh 1,000 pounds to be able to keep moving when somebody grabs it?
No.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where it would end. They're like, sure, if somebody shot a cannonball at you, yeah, you would probably move with it, but that's because it weighs several hundred pounds.
Mm-hmm.
A spear that weighs less than 5 pounds, probably not moving with that. You could catch it in midair, probably even.
Yeah, no, they're just normal fucking spears. Or
Yeah.
javelins, I should say, which
So
only weigh
unless-
like 3 pounds or something like that.
Yeah. So unless those things weigh 1,000 pounds and carry momentum with them, then you're not fucking moving anywhere.
But yeah, no, it was definitely one of those fuck no moments. Fuck no,
But
you can't
yeah.
do that.
So then maybe I am crazy, but I'm pretty sure that my DM rules it that it's a race ability to where you don't cast the spell.
I mean, whatever your
It's
DM
just-
rules obviously is whatever
Yeah,
it is,
for
but
for sure.
that does make a pretty broken combo. I mean, it's really
So
good,
I
and
think
obviously
the
not
reason
supposed to
why
work how it's
the reason why
supposed to.
he allows it is because he always buffs our creatures in our campaigns. He buffs every fight that we do, so that it's more challenging for us because he knows that we min-max the fuck out of our characters anyway.
Mhm.
Like he purposefully tells us min-max your characters because I'm going to make the fights hard, and you will be able to die in any fight. And I said, cool, sounds good.
I don't particularly
And-
like that. I do like changing characters or not characters, but monsters and making them more deadly. I think min-maxing is a little. I mean, I've done it for certain things, right? But yeah.
Dude, at first I thought you were drawing 2 legs and an ass. And I was like, bro, you're drawing goatsy right now?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying.
Like, yeah, it's a rule of cool thing. And, well, the thing is, like, what does being enlarged actually do for you other than just being bigger?
Extra damage.
Well, let me.
You
let
can
me look
grapple
up the
creatures
large
that
spell.
are bigger than you, and I believe it gives them HP. I could be wrong.
So the enlarged spell, the growth increases its size from one category to the next after.
Yep.
It doubles its size. The creature or object obtains the maximum possible size in the space available. Until the spell ends, the target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
So advantage.
Target's weapons also grow to match its new size. While these weapons are enlarged, the target's attacks deal 1d4 extra damage.
So extra damage and advantage, which is
And-
pretty strong.
I think he doesn't give the advantage. I think he says you get the size. Actually, I don't even know if he gets the 1d4 either. I think we've rolled it to where he doesn't get anything other than being bigger. And that's why we're okay with it. If that makes sense.
Obviously, again, whatever somebody wants.
Yeah.
Like, if the DM's fine with it, then the DM's fine with it, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things where
I think it's cool. Everybody thinks it's cool, and it's not broken by him doing it. He's also like a grappler character, so like thematically it makes sense. Like it's something that his character would like to do.
mm-hmm.
and the DM was like, yeah, as long as you're not abusing the fucking piss out of it, it's fine.
And grapple can be pretty strong. Can be pretty strong.
Well, grappling is strong, right? But then the other thing is, like, when a creature is grappled, they don't have disadvantage attacking other people.
No. No HP? Okay.
Yeah, you don't get any extra HP.
But also, you do gain damage resistance from raging, too.
You don't get any resistances. It's just
Bludgeoning, slashing, piercing? I'm pretty sure.
not within large.
No, with rage.
Oh, with rage, yeah.
And then, like, I know the totem, bear totem or whatever, gets, like, everything except for force. Which makes them tanky as fuck.
I think he might have that. I think it's psychic and force.
I think those are the two things that he is susceptible to.
Make sure people are on the same page. Yeah, no, I like rules. I like to try and follow the rules as much as possible. Obviously, if something fits another way of ruling better, or doesn't necessarily fit that I like, obviously change the rule or ignore it or whatever it may be, right?
Yep, that's how my DM is. He's like, I will follow the book as much as I physically can, and if there's something that is dumb, he will say, that's gay, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember what it was. I think the one thing that he regrets having us take advantage of is flanking. Do you know what flanking is?
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
I know what flanking is.
We have used the piss out of flanking every time it's physically possible in our campaigns. But then we also, in exchange, made it so that his enemies, like our enemies, also will abuse flanking as much as physically possible.
Well, it depends, right? I like to play enemies smart. So if an enemy is smart, they're going to act smart, right?
Well, exactly, right? That's what I mean. We min-max our characters so that he can min-max our fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in every fight, we have a chance of dying unless it's, like, literally level 1 goblins and we're level 4 characters.
That's why I like Pathfinder, because so how it works is if you get 10 either way, so negative 10 or bonus 10 over like the AC of something, it is a critical failure or success. So like, let's say they have an AC of 12, so if you get a 22, it doesn't have to be natural, obviously, that's with your bonuses, then you crit. And if you roll, well, a 1, then you crit fail anyway. So nat 20s and nat 1s are still fail and success, but or even if something has 25 AC, if you roll a 25 with all of your bonuses, you crit on the creature.
So the reason...
It's really good. It's really good for
I'm sure that...
backtracking too, because it means that when you go and fight stuff that is way weaker than you, you're critting all the fucking time. Like, it's great.
That's fair. But also, the reason why I don't like that is because I would say that if you're fighting shit like that, like, you're probably gonna kill it anyway. Like, there's no chance that you...
Yes, but it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like somebody who's been around and being able to, like, let's say goblins, for example. You're able to deal with good, like, fucking goblins super handily because they're such a low level in comparison to you that goblins aren't really a threat, but it's really nice.
Well, yeah, 100%. But my other thing with that is, naturally your character should feel stronger without having to, like, be able to crit shit. I understand, like, the artificialness of, like, crits being like that, but I think you lose what makes it critical special. Like, if you roll a nat 20, is it still a crit if something has, like, an 18 AC?
Yep.
Okay.
So you still get a crit
like,
regardless
so, like,
of
if
nat 1
you're
or
against,
nat
like,
20.
strong enemies, you still probably only get a crit if it's a 20.
Yeah.
But then it also makes shit where you like crit fail feel really bad, which is part of why I don't like that.
Well, see,
like,
because everything. So how it works? So it does work. So Lily's talking about flanking, right? They have a -2 to their AC. You want to stack as many debuffs as a team on the enemies as possible. It's not just stand and hit the thing, stand and hit the thing, stand and hit the thing, right? You have 3 actions per turn that you need to manage. The game does not want you to attack 3 times in a row. It does not. There's rules for it. So like you can attack once and you roll at your regular stats, right? And then you attack again and you take a -5 to hit. So it really dissuades trying to attack twice in a row. And if you attack again, you take a -10 to hit.
Okay.
So instead, what you should be doing is trying to trip them. You can dissuade them. So like you can glare at you can do like obviously different things, which also impact their AC. So like that's where the crits really come in handy. Yeah. So like against a powerful monster, if you trip it, now it's prone. So now it's flat-footed. So it loses some AC. It loses a bunch of stat bonuses. If you fucking intimidate it, it loses more stat bonuses. If you do all like these things to it, you have a way easier time critting on it because it's in a worse position than just standing there.
That's fair. I think if I played Pathfinder, I'd probably like it like that. If I tried it, but like just from how I'm hearing it, it doesn't sound amazing. Because like then that would mean that if there's like a horde of goblins, that I'm not just like annihilating them still. Like
no,
obviously
you would.
They're still gonna hit me like a lot.
No, they would. They're practically not going to hit you. That's the thing. Because let's say you're a level, because your AC goes up based on your level as well. So your AC scales with your level. So something that is way lower level than you almost will never hit you unless they crit.
Well, but then that's another one of those things that makes me feel like. So is it that? But that works in reverse, though, right? So like, if there's a high level enemy and I'm lower level than it,
then you'll practically never be able to hit.
Yeah, that's something I don't like because I sort of like the ability that like there's always a chance. I'm a big advocate for what the dice says goes, and I don't like when it's interfered with by artificial rules like that.
I mean, I disagree
from, like,
because, okay, what level fucking 10 character is going to go fight a lich on their own and win? Like, that's just a dumb move. Why?
Well, I mean,
why would the dice...
A level 10 character is never going to beat a lich.
Yeah,
Unless
like, why would
they roll only once and then the character rolls only crits?
Like, why would the dice be in charge of that? Why would something so powerful lose to a level 10 character? Like, it doesn't make sense. Just because the dice
and determination.
Just because the dice decided, oh, I'm going to give him like 3 crits, right?
I argue it's due to their grit and determination. And
but
they believe in friendship.
But it should practically never happen.
Well, it also won't, right? Like, if we're being realistic, it won't happen because the odds of it are so fucking low, right? That's why it's like checked. It feels like you roll d6s to attack, and yeah, maybe it'll happen. But d20s and getting multiple crits straight and the enemy getting multiple crit fails, it doesn't happen.
I mean, it's a 5% chance.
Plus, there's also liches that just have touch of death, or the ray of death, where you just die if you have less than 100 health, right?
That's power word kill, but yeah. Power word death, or whatever.
I would argue most liches probably have power word kill. If you have less than 100 health, you just fucking die. So that's why there's the spells and the abilities and the feats that classes and races have make up for the difference. And I guess that's where more of the balancing comes in.
Same deal when you see enemies with like 25-30 AC in 5th edition, you only get hits on a 16 to 20. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Lily. I mean, that's how it is, right? I mean, I fought a Frost Queen at the end of Rime of the Frost Maiden. And I mean, I'm pretty sure she had an AC of 23. Most of us were rarely hitting her, unless we got, like, actual fucking rolls. And that's how it should be. That's how it should feel. like, even though we were as high level as the campaign would let us, it still feels like a tough fight, even if there is 6 of us. And that's how it should feel, because, I mean, my character, for all intents and purposes, if it weren't for certain things happening, my character fucking died. My character was entrapped in a frozen block of ice from the Frost Maiden, and I fucking died. Everybody died except for 2 of the characters in our party, actually.
It works out mostly the same. Yeah. The combat is very.
Yeah, I mean,
very
I'm sure
similar.
it is, but then it's how it feels, right? It's how it feels between like.
I mean, I think
players
it
and
feels
characters
better.
and DM,
In
and
my opinion.
I'm sure it does to some people. I just haven't seen it. That I have never played Pathfinder. I've never watched Pathfinder. I've only sat in and like kept the volume down when you guys were doing your stuff because I was watching chat. And yeah, I just haven't seen like any Pathfinder content or 3.5 content to do that, and I think it's also because I don't see myself playing outside of 5e.
I think like
Maybe
8
my
to
DM will
10
want to.
5th edition campaigns. I like PF combat more. Well, there's a lot more to do in Pathfinder. Again, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna stand here and hit this thing. Oh, I rage, and then you get a lot of unique abilities in Pathfinder that really specialize your character, right? Where in 5th edition, it's like, congratulations, you can hit twice a round now. Cool, awesome. Oh, I can rage 8 times every fucking game, right? Like, because you get 3 different feats. You get regular feats, you get skill feats, or you get general feats, skill feats, and class feats. So, like, for example, a rogue can take like a certain class feat that makes it so they use 2 of their actions, but they get practically advantage. Ancestry feats, that's also, I guess, a thing too. So, like, basically they use 2 of their actions, they forego 1 attack to feint the attack, and then hit them with a -2 to their AC, meaning that they have a higher chance to crit, and all this other stuff. Like, it's really, really cool, because you can specialize a lot more.
Yeah, I only have 2 feats. It's my left and my right feats. Yeah. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Again, it's one of those things where I would have to see it to understand it. Because
And plus, when you do that attack, you trigger your sneak attack damage. Yep.
5e is a very dumbed down version of Magic, which I'm happy about because it lets me play the game more and worry about other shit less, which is what I come there for. I come there to play a character, not to read over weird shit. Like, obviously, if I'm in character, I'm sure it feels great. But I don't know. Is it also possible that maybe some people in the campaign are like used to D&D? Is that like how many people was it their first time playing Pathfinder?
Majority of them.
Okay, so then maybe that's another thing, right? Maybe it's the differences between D&D and Pathfinder that are
I don't
making
think
people
so.
feel a little overwhelmed, possibly.
It's Lily's first time with it too, yeah. But also, like, Lily wants to learn, right? She reads the book. Obviously, she's not going to read the book on the monsters and shit like that, but she wants to be able to know what she can do. Where
Well, yeah.
other players, they don't care. Like, they don't even know what they can do with their actions.
Yeah, again, that comes with experience and time.
Well,
but
no, that just
they
comes from
also-
other players that don't want to read about it. They're like, no, I'm not going to read about it. I don't want to learn about it. Like, specifically said, I don't want to learn about it. I don't want to read it. I don't want that knowledge.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So then maybe those are people that are better to not play 5e with or Pathfinder with, and maybe play 5e or 3.5 with, whatever they're comfortable with. Like, obviously, I'm sure it was you wanted to try Pathfinder because it seemed cool to you, and half the people.
Well, I heard
said,
about
"Yeah,
Pathfinder,
this
and
is-"
I was like, yo, that fucking sounds great. Like,
Yeah.
and then I
half
read
of
in
the-
a little bit.
And then half of the people said, "Yeah, this is cool. I'll try it." And then the other half said, "I guess I'll try it."
Well, one of the players wasn't going to try it, and then she got convinced to play.
Okay.
Which was Riki. Riki wasn't going to play. She was like, sorry, I just kind of don't want to. Hello, Revelancing. And then she kind of got convinced to play.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Riki, she's probably one of those people you don't have a problem with.
No,
Because
actually, we do.
she's... okay.
She's one of
That's
the.
interesting.
She's one of the players.
That's interesting because she always talks about how much she fucking loves D&D.
Yeah, does not seem that way.
Weird.
Doesn't seem like
Then-
she's interested in caring.
And then maybe it's one of
some
those
regrets.
things again where it's people are overwhelmed, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is me putting in my 2 cents because I haven't seen any of this stuff happening.
The issue with 5th edition versus PF thing, it's not they're invested in the non-combat stuff like RP and stuff. It doesn't pertain to the rules. Wait. Oh, they're not invested in the non-combat stuff like RP. Yeah, no, that is like one thing.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing that rewards them, I'm assuming, right?
Well, that's
Or
how you
like-
get hero points.
Well, yeah, but again, how many times do you see the people that don't care using their hero points?
I mean, everybody uses theirs probably at least once. Because
Once per-
obviously they get one. Like, why not use it, right? It goes away.
Yeah, I guess so. But if they like stuck around, they'd probably like save them. And if they weren't given out,
Yeah,
as
but what
often as
reward is
it
there in 5th edition RP? Yeah, true too.
Well, again, it's DM discretion. So like, if I RP super well, my DM will be like, "Yo, take an inspiration," or it makes a better interaction out of combat or out of the talking, and like maybe that person will trust us even more, or even give us more resources. Again, it's all based on how the DM does
Well,
it, and
yeah.
that's what I like because I trust my DM fully to operate the campaign like I expect him to because he's a great DM, and I'm sure that you're a great DM too. But
I mean, I still have a lot of learning to do, but at the same time, like, obviously, if people want to get invested and talk to the characters, they will get more information than just, you know, baseline knowledge, right? Or, for example, Lily knows certain things better than other people because of where she's from, you know, her backstory, blah, 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 what she's interested in as a character, right? And even then, I still don't give all the details, depending on, like, roles and stuff like that. Their character might just not know all the details, or it might be an obscure fact or something like that. But
Yeah.
when somebody goes and is like, I'm going to do research at the library. Oh, I can't find anything here? Well, guess that's it.
I mean, it's maybe one of those things where if there's nothing they can find at the library, they'll keep it in the back of their head and maybe they come back to it at a different point. But again, then you gave them that opportunity to talk about, to ask questions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had infinite knowledge too. And they only asked a few.
Well, I mean, they didn't have infinite knowledge, but they had somebody who was a wealth of knowledge, and they only asked like a few questions.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you, man. I think again, it's you having to put your foot down as far as the player stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because it can't be asked by your players that are paying attention, because it's not technically their responsibility to check other players, like to vibe check them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously it helps. Like, in my campaign, we all keep track of each other, like make sure we're paying attention, but that's also because we're really close buddies. Like, obviously you guys are all friends, but like, I don't know. I can't speak on the tightness of your friendship in your group, and like I can with mine. Like, every campaign, every group is going to be different, and no two campaigns playing the same thing will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So I think, in my opinion, it's just you having to just put your foot down. That's pretty much all you can really do. And if they don't, then you say, I don't want you coming back to the next session until you demonstrate that you care.
Well, I know if I do that to a specific player, I'd probably lose more than one player.
Yeah, I understand. But obviously you don't have to go that drastic. And it's not.
And honestly, I
personal.
don't even know what would happen if, like, because I've talked to Ricky a few times about certain things. Because, like, her last character, so she's very much a person that wants to be attached to another character, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine, you know,
Like
obviously.
her character entwined with another PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fine on its own. But when you're constantly causing issues for the whole group, so like her last character was very much a troublemaker and constantly causing major issues for the group, and I was like, look, you need to tone this down because you're fucking with NPCs, you're causing so many issues, and all this other shit. And ever since I had like that talk with her, she's been very reserved, for the most part, I would say. Because her whole being was being chaotic and causing issues, which...
So that's...
And
I get where you're coming
basically, like, the person attached to them basically had to baby leash them at all times. Otherwise, they would get in trouble. They literally got thrown in jail because she's a half demon, half angel. So she took on like a demonic form, and somebody went and ratted her out to the guards. So the guards showed up, and then they ran from the guards. So then they all got thrown in jail, and they would have been executed if, because, you know, fucking Leo was like, oh yeah, we were on a job, not saying that. No one once said that they were adventurers. No one once mentioned that the person was a warlock. Nothing, right? So they're all questioning, like, why the fuck do you have a demon with you, blah blah blah, and all this other shit, right? And they almost got executed because of
because nobody said anything.
Yeah, because, like, you know,
because of complacency.
Yeah, we were on a job, you know, we're not adventurers. No, we were on a job. Or whatever. Nobody said that, oh yeah, you know, this is just the warlock familiar, because that would have cleared it up like practically immediately, right? Because everybody knows adventurers that are warlocks have familiars.
Yeah, like yeah, they were just fucking around. And yeah, I understand your frustration. I have had characters that, like, obviously they go against what the interests of the party sometimes.
Yeah, and that's fine.
There's a point where at the beginning, so again, it's another one of those session 0, session 1 things. You have to be very clear of how a character operates a character that is going against the grain of the rest of the party. So, like, I have, like, in 2 campaigns now, like, including the one I'm currently in, we have a party member who is inherently, they are an evil character. They are not a good character. They are not neutral. They are evil.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you don't play it murder hobo and you're always trying to cause trouble, then there's not an issue. Like, I would find that most DMs probably don't want somebody playing a chaotic evil character. Like, is Riki's character evil?
I don't remember what they were. Well, she's playing a different character now.
Okay.
Because
is there alignment in Pathfinder, I'm assuming?
I don't think there is, actually. I don't remember if there might be alignment. I don't remember. Okay. Lily would probably know more.
Well, regardless, alignment isn't even a part of it. Alignment is a baseline to let everybody else know how your character is supposed to
There's not
act.
anymore? Okay.
It's a baseline of how you telling everybody in your DM, hey, this is generally how my character is going to act in character. And, like, this is how I will play this character. Like, a neutral good character. Maybe they won't always make the right call, but it will always be in the best interest of, like, good, not necessarily lawful.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, maybe I'll run from the police, but in order to save the town, I have to run from the police. Right? Like, that's something a neutral good character will do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a lawful good character will do that. But...
They removed it after the remaster. Also, Nemi was a life cleric. Yeah.
So a life cleric acting chaotic.
Yes.
That I don't know what to say about that. I don't think any life character would be acting like that, but I could be wrong. Again, it's all based on the character's backstory. But I don't know. Again, it's choosing who you're playing with and knowing about the people you're playing with.
Well, I can only take people at face value if I haven't played with them before.
That's
Obviously.
fair, but that's why my DM, like we have a new guy in our campaign, and he knows the DM personally, and the DM knows that he is a good guy, even if he's new to D&D. He know that in his best, at his heart of hearts, he will not try and fuck with anybody like intentionally unless it's for a good reason in character. Like, he's not going to be a dick to anybody. He's going to play his character how he's going to play his character, shit like that. Like, it was literally his first session ever playing. His first campaign. That's what we have. Yeah. It's probably difficult for you, though, like, to have to do that with everybody.
Yes. Some people front stealing was the class part of the character, not the mechanic side of it. And obviously, I want to make sure everybody's.
Wait, so Nemi's life cleric was killing people for fun and stealing.
No, I don't think she ever killed anybody. She wanted to, because it was like the demon side of her, basically.
Okay, so
but I don't think she ever acted on it. She did.
So she was looking for. Well, was it that she never acted on it, or she was told by other people to?
She was more so told by the babysitter not to act on it.
Yeah, and that's
like, hey, don't fucking do this. You're gonna get us in trouble. Type
That's
shit.
where my problem comes in. It's no character should have to babysit another person's character just because of their lore. That's fucking stupid. Unless both people fully agree on it and everybody is okay with it, because it is one character playing 1.5 characters, and nobody wants to do that willingly, especially when that other half is controlled by another player character. Warhammer the dude in the head.
Yeah, but wasn't it an evil guy? Pretty sure it was an evil person. Bustage. Hello, James.
Hey, James. Yeah, no, that's fucking dumb. No life cleric ever should be just killing people randomly. I don't care if they have a demon inside of them. Then you shouldn't have made a character that plays like that, or allowed to play a character that's like that. Like, nobody should be doing that, because that is just giving yourself an excuse to murder hobo, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants a murder hobo in their party unless it's an all-evil party and everybody agrees that we're gonna murder hobo.
Yeah, she's not playing that character anymore right now. She's playing a dragon character. She's literally a dragon, because that's one of the things you can be in,
like, not a dragonborn, but a dragon.
Like an actual dragon. You can be a small-sized dragon.
Oh.
It comes with its own stuff.
That's neat.
Yeah.
And then she says, my character is a small dragon that fast forward through time 100 years. And
it's not an official race. Yeah, that's true. It is. Well, it's a. I thought it was an official book. Maybe it's a semi-official book, because I thought it was on the. It's on the Paizo website, I think. Because I think that's how I got it. Because it was. It's Battle Zoo. It's a third party. Okay.
Yeah, no. If there's anybody ever trying to murder Hobo, they should be not doing that. I think I had a character in my last, so in that campaign, that wizard guy, that gnome wizard, that was the teacher. There was a point where in Rime of the Frost Maiden, it's like my character was like a lawful neutral guy. I'm pretty sure he was lawful neutral, or he was like neutral good. There was a person who we lovingly called Gaston because we hated the guy, but he always seemed to be loved by everybody else around him that wasn't in our party, because he kept trying to like show us up basically. And we were hunting this red yeti, and we couldn't find it, and we went back to this tavern, and Gaston showed up with this red yeti head, and we thought that it was just like a yeti head soaked in blood. So I grabbed it from him, and I pressed the digitation bit, and I cleaned it to clean off the blood, and we found out that it was actually a red yeti head. And he was like, "Thank you for cleaning off my trophy for me." And he's like, "No, please give that back so I can add it to my collection." And I burnt it on the spot because of how pissed off in character I was at him. Like, my character was embarrassed in this front of this tavern full of a bunch of people.
Yeah, but see, that's acting to your character, where people don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, your characters can break character if they're pushed to a limit, right? But that's not what they were doing, obviously. They were just playing a half-murder hobo, half-perfect human being character. Which, in concept, on paper, is cool, but when you play it out, it doesn't work. At least not to the extent that Ricky was. Like, maybe they do, like, some chaotic decisions. And, like, maybe it's one of those things where, like, you wake up that day and you roll a d20, and that will decide, like, how you act for a certain period of time. Or some shit like that. Like, that would be something that would be cool. But then again, that would be something that would have to be agreed upon by everybody in the party and by the DM as well. If that makes sense. Oh, as you were still talking about D&D Pathfinder stuff.
Yes.
But that's my opinion on it. Like, obviously, you can play an evil character. You can play a perfect goody two-shoes character. But again, it comes down to you and your party and your DM all agreeing that, yes, we will deal with it. If it gets to be too much, we will voice our opinion about it and say, hey, can you dial it back a little bit? This is affecting my ability to play the game and other people's ability to play the game. Like, it can't just be a matter of, like, your two characters butting heads, because that just happens inherently in role-playing games sometimes. Where characters don't have the same goals, even if they're both the same alignment. Right? Like, I can have a lawful good character, and another person can be a lawful good character, but one person's avenging their village, and my character's on a mission of pacifism. Right? Like,
yeah, that is very true.
We are both lawful good characters, but we have inherently different goals.
Very true.
At the end of the day, it's all politics. And it should be agreed upon before a campaign is started. It's like Commander. It's like Commander on a grander scale. Like, we can all play at the same power level of decks as long as your deck isn't a deck that's going to make everybody else pissed off at you. And then the issue that's solved is by banning that deck, and if the person says, no, I'm going to keep playing it, then we say, okay, well, we're not going to play with you anymore.
I'm not going to play with you anymore.
And that's how you solve a problem like that. If they're being a dick, then you say, okay, bye. Because why should I negotiate with you when you're the problem? There shouldn't be any negotiation happening. It should be you negotiating with us. We shouldn't be pulling our own fucking fingers off to please you when you're a one versus the many.
But no, I definitely I want to talk to them, obviously, and see. Bring it up, see what everybody's stances are on it.
Well, I think most people would agree with you if it's.
Well, I mean, I know out of the 3 people who did stick, or 4 people that stuck around for the conversation, Leo specifically said he was going to try and do better.
Has he been improving a little bit, or was this?
No, this was literally the last session.
Okay.
Because he was practically, he didn't say anything basically the entire time.
Yeah, and I mean, like, again, one of those things where it's, if it's, hey, I'm not going to be as invested because I don't feel great,
Mm-hmm.
then sure. But just make sure.
Put together, but there will be tension points, as so long as you both agree not to cause issues for the party. Rogue trying to steal everything and derail the world. The paladin being overly righteous and causing shit anytime the party does anything not by the book.
Yeah, you can't just be a character that.
I am
goes
drawing.
against the party. You can't be a character that goes against the party because that's your character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not a fucking character. That is just you being an asshole.
Obviously,
Like,
in
yeah.
moments of RP, right? Like, obviously, like when something happens, it can be a very turning point for a character and like cause an issue. But that's like for an RP moment, not just because I'm playing this character and I'm going to try and cause issues for everybody.
Well, especially because it's one versus the many, right? Like, we're talking about like a party, so most parties, I would say, vote on a lot of things, whether they happen or not, whether you do one thing or don't do one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're the one person that's against the whole party, you're not going to get your way, and you purposefully chose a character to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you build your character where they're fucking reasonable, maybe other people in the party can agree with you, and you're not going to be something that is just impairing everybody else in the game and making stupid decisions
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like, I mean, I've had stuff like that happen before.
And 2
where-
things. They made a character that had a very comfy life, so anything do they argue / drag this character along? Yeah, that's not fun. It's like, why are they even in the party then?
Yeah.
That's the point of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you have somebody who lived a comfy life, maybe something happened to their village. Maybe they got removed from that comfy life and they want to seek a place that is safe enough to be able to go back to that comfy life, right? They want to be able to get back to the norm. So now they have a reason to go and adventure, make money, either build their own village or go out and buy a house somewhere nice and comfy or whatever it may be, right? So you can have a character that wants to desire a comfy life and play them well.
Yeah. So, real quick, if there's anybody that doesn't want, do you care if I spoil Curse of Strahd for you? Like, you think
I
you're
mean, I
gonna
don't
play
care.
it again?
Probably not. I'm probably not going to play anything 5th edition anymore.
Anybody that wants to play the Curse of Strahd campaign or thinks that they might, just mute stream for like a minute. I'll give you like 5 seconds. So, my character when I was playing Curse of Strahd was a like 4 ways monk or way the elements monk,
Mm-hmm.
and
You move away from your
He-
mic.
yeah, I did move away from my mic.
Get closer, you little bitch.
Yeah. So, I was playing an element way the 4 elements monk. Our village was I lived a comfy life. My village was attacked. My father stopped them. He died. I took over the temple. I left to pursue further enlightenment in elemental arts. We went to the land of Barovia, where Strahd is at. We did all that combat. There was a point where my character got mind controlled by Strahd, and I knocked down every single person in my party. I literally knocked everybody unconscious in my party. And then, spoiler for Curse of Strahd, everything doesn't matter. If you defeat Strahd, you all get reset back to level 1, and you end up outside of Barovia, as if it never happened.
Poggers.
That's like a twist that happens in the game. And my character, we never finished that campaign, but my DM told me that that's what happened. So I thought, wow, my character goes out for this enlightenment of the elements,
and gets shown up by this vampire who's all about the darkness, that his darkness overpowers my elements. So we did a different campaign where it's Out of the Abyss, where my character swapped, had a change of heart. They were a lawful, good monk, and they swapped to a true neutral monk. That was a Way of the Shadows monk instead. They changed their art because they saw the power of darkness. And like what it can do. They didn't want to be an evil person, but they knew how strong it could make them. So like that's a huge character development, and that's a way that I did it to where my character living a comfy life went from being a person on pursuit of a pilgrimage to being a damn near evil character between two campaigns, and it didn't affect how my party played the game in a negative way.
But see, that's
because
good character development and good RP, right? Like that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're facing, is the lack of RP and the lack of character development.
Yeah. Make your characters fucking interact, are they?
Well, the thing is, they have plenty of chances to interact. They just don't.
Make them.
Say we're not moving until somebody interacts. Say we're not moving until you talk to this person. Do it now, or we will end for tonight. I will be back. I need to use the bathroom because Taco Bell makes me.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
I'll be like maybe 10 minutes.
This lady is shrimp. Turbo pooping. Oi! Random thing. Have I seen an ancestral ascent? Let me look. Astral. Ancestral ascent? Incest? What? Astral. I have not seen this. What is this? Astral ascent. Ancestral ascent. Challenge with dozens of unique spells. Blah, blah, blah. Faithful friends to your side in a roguelike. Oh, that looks sick. It reminds me a lot of, what's it called? Already Risk of Rainy. Yeah. But like a lot more design focused on it, it seems. Are you asking me because you want to play, Lily? Already have? Yeah? What do you think of it? It's fun so far? Do You know what game is fucking great, by the way? Wizard of Legend. Game is so good. Bit short of 2 hours. Let's see. Looks like there's a ton of customization. Okay, so it's like Risk of Rain, but then it looks like it transitions into like... About the same amount that any character can get. I see. Get different passives as well. Well, it looked like there was a person that you could fist with, so that's quite poggers. It looked like there was like a monk type character. I love fisting people. It also gives me like a Dead Cells vibe as well. Even that has a few variants. Let me see. He has blocking counter. Okay, so he does. There is a monk boy. I thought I saw a fister, a sister fister, a fister sister. I'd be down to play it. My hand is getting a little sore now anyway. Hello, Origin. How are you? Pretty neat so far. Stretch. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. What am I up to? I am learning. Learning. Ah. I gave you that stretch video for a reason. I'm gonna stretch you. Come here, Set. Come here, boy. I'm learning. I'm learning art. Come do it. Oh, whoa. I am on day 8 of learning how to draw in my 1-year challenge to try and learn arting as best as I can. Honestly, I'm very happy with the progress so far. Like, day 1 compared to now, I do feel a lot more confident in getting like a structure going and getting a body to look more or less what it should kind of look like. Obviously, I'm not perfect, you know. I still have a lot to learn, a lot of different perspective points and how something should look on putting it on paper in comparison to how it looks on the photo, because you can't just copy the photo, right? If you copy the photo, everything's going to be construed and longer and, you know, shorter than what it needs to be, and trying to interpret that into art is obviously very difficult, and that's really what I need to try and learn. Oh, what software? You need to do proper anatomy at some point? Yeah. Right now I'm following the whatever, the software is Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio. CSP, baby. CSP. I'm following the one guy's words. Brett or Brunet, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'm following his thing, which is the first month is basically dedicated to doing a ton of gesture drawings to start learning basics, and then I think each month kind of goes into a specialized category. So it's like, I don't remember what I'm supposed to be learning next month. I know the gesture drawings go up, and I think I'm supposed to be working on more detail, more things like that. Yeah, I don't remember. I can find it, I guess. Let's see. Let us see. Ugh. I put the video in Discord.
Welcome back. This week's episode of YouTube Art School is going to be a little different. At this point, I'm guessing that you're either
this
starting
is
to learn art
January
from
stuff,
scratch, or you've practiced a little bit,
which is the
dabbled,
first month.
but you've been hitting some walls, and progress has been slow, and that's why you're here. So we're gonna start off simple. In the first month, there are 3 things that we'll focus on: gesture drawing, perspective, and copying. Copying? What? Let's go over these. So starting off with gesture drawing, the whole idea in the first month is to get you to observe better with an artist's eye. So
how would I
it
teach
might
myself?
seem
Following
like a
this.
brutal
This is what
thing
I'm
to
doing.
Start with, but gesture drawing is a fantastic way to focus on observation. I do have a class where I talk about gesture drawing in more depth, so you should definitely check that out. And then I'll put all the links to the classes that I mentioned during the video down in the description. So for this, aim to draw glorified stick figures, nothing fancy, and lines only, no shading. So for the first month, something like 30 plus poses should be a good start. And then find references mostly in neutral poses, standing, nothing too complicated. And then focusing on 2 to 5 minute sessions per pose, that should work great. Next, you'll want to focus on the basics of perspective. Things that are worth looking into at this stage would be stuff like the horizon line, vanishing lines, vanishing points, and just how to draw simple volumes, like cylinders,
Is that
boxes,
Learballs
and
himself?
spheres.
It
And
is
then
Learbalg.
throughout the month, we'll also do a bunch of studies of art that you like, essentially copying the art from artists that you like. And then here I'm talking about the line art only, no colors, no shading, nothing like that. And then do that as best as you can without tracing. And that's the first month. Do as much as you can, mixing up the topics if you want. You don't have to do this in order. You're starting to build a foundation here, a foundation that will help you complete the following month. So let's move on to February, and I'll try to pick up the pace a little bit here to get through this a little faster. So we'll still be doing gesture drawing, and this time 80 plus poses at 2 minutes each, but still using basic references.
Speaking
and
between
simple
maps.
poses.
True.
Also, you'll learn how to draw the head construction and how to draw the face, and I have a class for that. That's not all though. We'll also learn the skills needed to draw a basic scene of your choice using 1 point perspective. And then to complete the month, we'll also be doing some face studies using art from artists that you like. Just the line art, again, keeping it simple.
So
And
see,
we're
that's,
now in
that's
March.
that's what we're doing. So I'm following this. Obviously, next month is going to be when I'm primarily going to be doing face studies on top of the gesture drawings, right? So that is like what is going to be happening more. So I'm going to be learning the anatomy of the face, drawing faces a bunch, and then I think the next month is like hands
And we're
or
still
something like
keeping
that.
up
I don't
with
remember.
gesture drawing. And at this point, you should definitely notice a significant improvement. We'll do longer poses this time, so 30 plus poses in total for about 5 minutes each. And we're also going to start tackling anatomy, learning how to draw a simple mannequin, just as an introduction. Do check out my class on this topic. Now, the challenge this month will be to learn how to draw another scene of your choice, but using 2 point perspective.
Two what?
Scoots aren't enabled.
No, I don't think they are. I think Luna turned them off again.
Of this time. And then last on the list for March will be to do a bunch of portrait studies from photo reference, trying your best to
Also,
copy
yes,
what you see,
Highlander.
including colors and shading. Now, real quick, if you're not sure how to study for any of this,
I
you
was
should be able
wondering
to
why I
find,
couldn't
plenty
hear
of tutorials here on
the
YouTube
video,
with a
but then
little
also
bit of
Because it was
work.
muted.
There's a ton of them
Why
on my
stream
own channel,
turned
like
on
I've
so I
been
don't hear Artie
referencing. But
and
if you want
myself
even
twice.
more structure, along with in-depth classes that cover all the topics of
This is
this
just like a drawing.
I don't like Mark's art, especially anatomy, but it's not a bad guide. I mean, I know you have your ideal person, but I'm not necessarily following his anatomy, right?
Yeah, you're just following.
I'm
like,
I'm following the
the
guide
base.
because I don't personally care about his anatomy, right? I'm gonna be
The thing that's
finding what I like.
the thing that's crazy is you're watching all these YouTube videos and you
Schedule
have like
and
so
much
many
more.
friends
I
that
would
just
definitely
do art
recommend
and
that you
could
check out
ask.
Art School for Digital Artists with the link.
Well, that also requires rest of my sentence. Yeah, I know. You said the guide's not bad. Like I have plenty of people who obviously do art, like Set, for example. Set's very good too. You know, we have Lear who also does art. We have Yoshi who does art. We have all these people who do art. But also going and asking them and just relying on them, I suppose, instead of doing the research myself and starting at least, kind of feels off. I would at least like to, you know, get something going and then be like, once I get stuck on something, or
Yeah.
You should have learned quite
because
a bit already. So
I need to learn the basics. That's what they're all going to tell me. They're all going to be like, yeah, just fucking learn the basics, dumbass. That's
like
basically going to be what it is.
Keep drawing, Stinky.
Just like, yeah, learn the basics. If you fucking look up a YouTube tutorial on learning the basics. You Lear. True. But no, like that's literally what I'm gonna be told by everybody. It's gonna be like, you gotta learn the basics, you know, draw shape. You know?
Yeah.
So
you know, using real clay or something similar. It's not quite drawing, but it's directly related and it's a fantastic exercise. Now moving on to more anatomy. This time we'll learn the basic bones and muscle groups of the upper body. We'll also keep up our gesture drawing exercises too, but this time focusing more on details and less on the gesture. Doing at least 10 poses in 10-minute sessions. And then
so like obviously, like, you know, to me this makes sense. Like slowly getting harder and harder progress of going from, okay, let's learn the head. Let's do some body studies. We're going to learn a full month of construction of like bodies, you know? And then we're going to spend a bunch of stuff. He wants you to do color? Nope, not happening.
last on the list will be to learn the basic
Because as he said in the start,
Color theory.
yeah, not happening. Not
So
happening.
It might seem like he about to draw
So what is color
perspective.
theory? Am I
Art
crazy?
that you like.
I'm like
month.
so not
So-
artistically inclined in like any
And
capacity.
that's
Howard
the
boy.
first month. Do it as much as you
Fucking-
can, mixing up
Studies of art you like. I already know which art I like.
He likes art where boobies and pussy is shown.
No, I already know which artists I like. Like,
Oh,
it's hentai. Yes, that's it.
true, Lily. That's the art that he likes. But isn't it what we all
anatomy,
like?
but this time we'll focus
True.
on the basic bones and the muscle groups of the lower body.
Coward
There
boy?
are
No, I already
more
know
things
that
to
I don't
tackle
wanna learn
this
color
month.
set.
Learning how
Like,
to draw
I've
feet.
decided
I
that.
have a class for that. Learning more about color theory, specifically about color harmonies.
Surely I like more than
also
one
have a
artist.
class for
Yeah.
that. And finally,
I do.
we're going to be doing a couple of drawings or painting.
But I have
studies
a style
of
that I
environments
particularly
from
like more
artists
than
that you like.
others.
All right, it's almost summer now. In
Such
general,
as
place
Andy
a
Face,
heavier focus on creativity since
I mean, I like Yoshi. Murperoni is very good. I like his very like dull color, black and white, you know, dark blues and stuff. I like his art a lot.
Wow, just say that you don't like Lear art. Just say you don't like Lear.
Yeah, I don't like Lear's.
Just tell him that. Tell him
Why
to
not
his
do it for
face
the
before you
experience
fucking-
though? Because I already know that it's something that I don't want to learn.
That's fair. Because
Why force myself-
It's not like Artie's gonna go pro in art. He just wants to know how to do art to like a baseline level, as far as I'm aware.
How do you know unless you try? Because I can know what I like without trying something.
I don't know. Sateo, have you tried anal sex with another person? With another man? Or
You know, like,
you done that?
yeah, sure. Certain things you do have to try to know that you'll like. Like, that makes sense. But I know that I'm not gonna like skydiving without a parachute. So, you know, do I have to try it to know that I'm not gonna like that? No.
Yeah.
Do I know that I won't like diving because I get extremely seasick and I fear the water? Yeah, absolutely. I know that I won't like diving. It'll probably be a cool experience, but I know that I won't like it because I'll be fucking terrified. Like you can know you won't like something without having to do it.
How do you know that you don't like me without
Without
trying
doing you.
me?
Yeah. It's also part of understanding the art more than anything.
I'll let you learn my anatomy.
I mean, that's fine. But I don't know. We'll see when I get there. It won't hurt me. What do you mean? I'll have carpal tunnel by the age of 30.
Yeah, I think Artie just wants to know the basics of art.
No,
Because
I
it
want to
would be
draw
cool.
basically anything manga style because that is the uh
Oh yeah, because it's something that you want to get into, right?
it'll help me with shading. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want black and white and I want, more manga style stuff. And in that case, I don't technically have to learn color theory. I would have to learn how lights work and shadows. And how, like, where would the light position be? What shadows are going to be where? If the light is above them, what is going to be shadowed? Levels of grays. I mean, in a lot of the ones that I see, they just use black lines to resemble, what's it called?
Well, Set maybe
Shadows.
Artie thinks that coloring is a waste of his time on Earth because it's not what he wants to draw.
Like, I understand. I just know that I don't want to learn color, per se.
Artie doesn't see people's color. He just sees the world in black and white.
Yeah, I'm not racist. I just see black and white.
Classic. He sees people for what's on the inside, not what's on the outside.
The theory behind it, yeah. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. That's still, like, months away.
Yeah, we're not even in January.
Yeah, we're not even in January yet. Come on. Like, if I decide that, it's more worth learning, then I'll do that. But I gotta see how far I can even take it to begin with. Like, what if I decide after the first month, I'm not enjoying this anymore, and I don't want to do it?
Yeah, you're putting the cart before the horse. Artie has to get to the river to be able to drink water.
So, like... No, I'm not. What the fuck? Stop putting the cart before the horse. Yeah, I have to get to the point. Like, what if I decide that I just don't want to do art anymore after this first month? Like, I'm enjoying myself right now, but I can't guarantee that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, obviously we're fucking with you a little bit.
Bald. He's bald.
Just let the man draw. Let him cook. What the fuck is that?
The fuck is what?
It's your... You like alt tabbed and it like showed something on screen. I think it was just your art panel.
Oh, I was hovering over the art thing. It could have been titties, I don't know.
Maybe. Surely nobody will clip it and find that one frame and report it to Twitch.
Is it even... Oh, it is. There's some titty in this one. Hey yo. Yes. Hey yo. Hey yo.
There's no Ayo. There's nothing defined there. This is, for all everybody knows, this could be a worm. Would you still love me if I was a worm with 2 legs and arms?
Handwriting, a core fundamental part. Oh, before even attempting it just feels silly. I suppose. I suppose you are correct. Well,
What's your
we'll
source?
see.
My source is I made it the fuck up.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes when we get there. You know, like learning anatomy. Technically, I don't even have to do that. I'll just draw tits. I'll just draw tits fucking the size of their entire body, and I could probably make money off of that. I just learned how to draw tits really fucking well because there are people who are into that shit, and it's fucking weird.
What, to draw tits really big?
To draw tits literally the size of a body. I need to learn anatomy? No, I need to learn teardrops and half circles. That's all I need. Literally, it can be one singular giant boob.
Artie's gonna draw a stick figure with the most perfect boobs you've ever seen in the world.
She breasted boobily down the stairs.
God, I feel like I'm in a sitcom sometimes, dude.
Or penis. Exactly. I could just draw hyper penis, literally bigger than the character themselves, blocking everything except for like 2 lines for the arms, and people would love that shit because
Artie's the kind
again,
of
you know,
you're the kind of guy that would draw a stick figure and then just have a hyper realistically detailed dick attached to it.
exactly. So I don't need to learn anatomy. I just need to learn parts of anatomy. I just need to learn tits and, you know, fucking huge cocks. That's it.
It's true. Is there anime that's like that?
Anime?
Like some parts,
I have no idea.
Where like some of it is drawn like really shitty, but then like the parts that are important are drawn like really, really, really fucking good. Or am I crazy?
I don't know. I'm sure there
There's a
is.
specific anime that's like that, and I'm blanking on the name of it. I almost feel like it was Mob Psycho a little bit.
Maybe. The basis of Spot the main character? Yeah.
Oh, Artie is doing Spot the main character. 3 characters, all stick figures, 1 giant penis.
Hello, Zach. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna come with time. I'll see how things go as we get there. Because whenever I close my eyes, it feels like I'm on a roller coaster. I've been drinking water. What?
Good night, Izzy.
Good luck, Izzy.
Have a good night.
Hopefully everything is okay, and maybe you're just, you're just, you know, something. I don't know. Hopefully everything is good. Good luck. Have fun at the ER. And waiting 4 hours.
I hope that
yeah.
everything gets better.
Vitamin deficient. You're vitamin deficient.
The only vitamin you're missing is D.
No, it's vitamin me, bitch.
Real. That's why he be cooking with the shit he be speaking.
The spukin?
You know, I think I do get the lyrics you're writing in those songs.
Humongous hungalonga no no
Vitamin re. Humongous hongalonga badong. Exactly.
I hate the fucking the fucking picture they have attached to that soundbite. It's just like an eyebrow face. It's just like
but yeah, I gotta get there, you guys. I gotta get there. I understand, you know, I have to learn everything. Fuck, I don't still know basic shapes very well. Right? But
Are you using a mouse, by the way?
No.
You have a tablet.
Yeah, I have a tablet.
I was wondering, I was like, did you just get a tablet like recently?
I've had a tablet for a while.
Okay. And you were like, I'm gonna find a reason to use this.
Well,
thing.
So basically what happened, short story of arty life, I wanted to learn art like about 2 years ago. I want to say I've had this tablet for a while. And I didn't really, I looked up stuff that was too advanced for my level, and I didn't start with the basics, like an idiot, you know? And I got really frustrated that I'm like, why can't I make a face look nice? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? It's literally just like lines. Come on, why can't I fucking do it? Right? And so I got really frustrated with myself. And then it made me quit art because, you know, obviously I was the issue, but I'm like, why the fuck can't I do this? So then I didn't touch my tablet for a while.
Yeah.
And then basically looking back on that, now I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. That's basically it. And then, so now I'm taking things from step one. I'm following a guide to learn, you know, glorified stick figures, basically. And doing basics and, you know, doing shapes and stuff like that and all that, right?
My buddy, so you flick Lethal Company, yeah?
Yes.
Just send you this fucking meme my buddy sent me. This so this fucking funny shit. God. That
Yeah.
game is something else, dude.
I'm learning. Let me fucking learn.
No.
Mechanical keyboard. Yes. Apparently there's mimics in the game, and I didn't know that. Or it's a mod, I think. It might be a mod, so where they turn like exits into mimics.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so like the emergency exits can apparently be mimics, and the mimic can grab you. Oh, it's a mod? Lethal Company.
In Lethal Company, Lily. That game's fucked up. Like, me seeing videos for that game, it's like Faz on crack.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Faz at least, like, there's always a way. Like, there's always a specific way to deal with it, and it's usually, like, the same method every time. Like, you go through the same monotonous process. In Lethal Company, it's not the same way, because it's different monsters every time, and there can be multiple monsters at the same time. And I think that's what kind of is starting to draw me towards the game, because at first I was like, wow, this game just looks like a cheap Faz clone, and that's what I saw it as. I was like, this game looks and plays like dog shit.
Oh, they can copy the crew's voice? Yeah, because it takes like voice lines or whatever and then uses them. Like, hello.
Wait, that's fucked up.
It's super sick. I mean, it's awesome, but at the same time, it's like, damn, okay.
Holy shit. That is fucking dope. That would fuck with me so bad. Oh, did you see the new, did you watch the Game Awards already?
Yes.
Did you see the new fucking, Hideo Kojima horror game that's coming out?
Yeah.
Overdose? Dude, that looked so good. I actually can't wait to fucking play that. It looks like you're trying a guitar right now.
A guitar?
A little bit. Like, before you put the other arm line there, it looked like you were drawing a guitar.
Fuck, guitars.
Regan killed Kirito after copying someone saying everyone is fucking
Everyone's
dead.
fucking dead.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Why is VTuber tagged 3 times? Why not? You done goofed? Oh, you fucking left the Discord. You dumbass. Yeah.
Yippee!
Yippee! But yeah, no, some of the mods sound pretty fucking sick for Lethal Company.
Yeah, I agree. It is pretty neat. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. That's a voluptuous individual.
She does have a very curvy butt.
Thicker than a Snicker, if you will.
You know.
Sayo!
It's Sayo. Oh my god.
It's that guy that lives with the streamer, but doesn't talk to anybody that isn't the streamer.
True. He's that guy.
Yeah, Sayo's a fucking antisocial.
Rarely talk in general, yet I hear him every single day yelling. Smile.
Is it him yelling or him being excited?
Yes.
Reaching the point of climax.
I've heard that guy in the background, yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to think what he'd be yelling at. Probably fucking
Games or
a hunt. Hunt probably.
or whatever it may be.
I don't know what else Sayo plays other than Hunt.
Speaking of
No.
Hunt Bus, no god,
No, I
you started him up.
I don't want to play Hunt.
New
There's so
stuff.
many- there's so many better games than Hunt right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I did pay $40 for it. As much as I would love to get shot by somebody pixel peeking a window sill through a building. It's like, oh, what's that? You see one floorboard with half an inch of space between it, and you can look through it in the building. Oh, I guess you're just gonna dome that person from 100 meters away. It's like 6 feet, but worse because I can actually lose stuff.
Okay. I'm ditch.
You're dead.
I'm ditch.
You no longer want to draw, or
I'm ditch.
okay.
I think drawing is dumb. I quit.
Yeah.
All these people telling me to learn color theory. Nope, don't want to do it anymore.
set say what the
Just try it. No. It's like that one thing. When people tell me to watch anime, the more I don't want to watch it. Or when people tell me, oh, you should really, really play this game, I don't want to do it.
Speaking of anime, did you see the Scott Pilgrim show?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's not bad. If you've watched the movie, I think you would like it.
Starting to sound like someone I know. Yeah, I told you to watch the fucking anime.
What
And you
anime?
liked it, bitch. Shadow. Eminence of
Oh,
Shadow.
Eminence. I would like that. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I know I would like it just based on how it is, because it's like martial but written better.
I would say it's like kind of like One Punch Man, but written worse than One Punch Man.
Yeah, but it's
Still
written
good.
worse on purpose, right? Like that's part of it.
It's still good. He's a dumbass, and that's great. I mean, so is fucking, Saitama. He's kind of a dumbass too. But Chuny shit.
Chuny shit. Say how you're one to talk about Chuny shit. You fucking wiener. No, I don't want to watch
Guess
it
you'll just have to
anymore.
pay me. All right. So, how much am I paying you? Like $5 an hour? Sounds good.
Bro, I'll teach you about colors. Red is red. Green is green. It's not a theory either. I can tell you the facts.
Well, actually, white is every color, so get fucked.
Actually, white is a combination of every color. It's not every color. It
White,
is a combination
white
of every
turned,
color.
so white through a prism makes every single color.
Yes.
So
it
white
is a
is every
combination
color.
of. It is a combination of every color.
Blue tastes like blue. No, it tastes like
True.
rainbow.
Blue does not taste like rainbow. Blue tastes like blue. Just like when you have a blue when you have a blue airhead, it tastes like blue, and that's it.
Huh. That tasted purple.
Not tasty purple.
That tasted purple.
Keep talking.
Mod leave. Or blue crayon. Yeah, it tastes like blue crayon. That's what it tastes like.
I'm getting the art nerds to leave. Finally, now we can go play something fun.
Imagine. No, Lily's actually pretty good at art. She showed me some of her stuff.
Well, yeah, she needs to be
I
able to
wish she
express
would-
herself in a different way.
I wish she would continue doing art. I like it. I like it. Me like it.
I feel like mute people have the most reason to be an artist. To articulate themselves in an even more profound manner.
No, she just articulates and punctuations her point with a knife.
That's also true.
Like I said, she stabbed me the other day.
In real life.
Yes. I articulate with war crimes. Exactly.
That's the only thing Lily and Arch have in common. I articulate with war crimes. I guess there is something a little mesmerizing about watching people do art. I really thought about it like that. Because the only other people I watch do art really is like Lear and Calyx. That's probably it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I watch anybody else do art. But again, it's also just because those people are very entertaining when I watch them do art. Or I just like Calyx's
Entertaining.
music choice as well whenever he does art.
Entertaining.
But to be fair, Lear and Calyx have a similar taste in music. Just Lear's is 15 years older.
And gay.
Emo pop punk music is not gay, already.
No, Lear listens to a lot of gay music too.
So does Calyx.
That's pretty
Four
gay.
big guys. And they grab on my thighs. Also, I'm like, that's like the 4th of July. If they keep fucking my butt, then I might just cry. Poop and semen spraying on my eye. Sayo, don't like you've never heard that song before. If you say it's the first time you've ever heard, I won't believe you. Because that's like, it was literally all over the internet like last year, right? Or no, not last year, but a few months ago. It was like summer, spring of last year. Yeah. Reaction will always remain the same. Oh. What are you drawing?
I don't actually know. I'm just
You're just like playing around.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going. You know?
Yeah.
What art is
Go off.
about. Just doing.
Go off, King. See, that's my problem. Is I need like a baseline. It's like not art. I artistically express myself in different ways that are not in a visual manner.
Fair. I'm just
Like
going.
when I sing for big guys. That's me artistically expressing myself.
Sausage.
I will artistically express myself on your face.
Damn.
I don't know why that's funny to me, dude. I laugh over the stupidest fucking shit ever. Oh my god. Four balls. Damn, I guess I can't do you then, Lily, because you don't speak to me. You just type to me.
Can express myself by singing, so do what speaks to you. Damn.
Oh my god. I am like running on fumes right now.
Go
My
bed.
brain is mush. Well, no, I won't be going to bed. I'd probably be playing Lethal Company or something. With Corn and friends. But I will chill for a little bit longer. I was trying to mentally interpret. I guess I can see what this is in my mind. A little bit.
What do you
There's an
see it
object.
as?
I see like a park bench, or like a bus bench, I should say. The ones where they have like the little roofs over them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I see in my head. And then you drew a handle under that, and that threw everything out of my brain.
Threw everything out of your mind.
And now it's not a handle. What the fuck?
My mind palace.
Now that's this. Dude, what is that from?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Ugh. My mind palace. Just makes me think of fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. Like domain expansion.
Domain.
Infinite balls in your face.
That would be right. It would be more like this.
Mine, they left me broken. You were staying at the truth, hoping.
So technically, if we were looking at it from this angle, it would be the roof would be more here. And there would be less seen here, as this would go up and over.
You mean like if it's based on what I'm saying?
No, just like the angle. Because I don't know what the fuck angle this would even be. Because it'd be like off to the side, right? But I drew the...
I feel like the angle would be not as pronounced. It would be a smaller angle.
Mm-hmm. Because like obviously I can tell where I fucked up. If I was drawing this like, you know, more straight on, obviously I have to make the roof more straight on, not at the angle that it was at, you know.
Yeah.
So at least I can recognize.
Wow, Artie, you're
my
not drawing
mistakes.
perfectly.
At least I can recognize my mistakes and possibly improve on them. So like if I were to do it again, I'd probably, you know, do this. And this would be my straight line. And it would be a lot more straight. So like they'd be a little bit closer together. Or this would go over more. There'd be a slight curve to that. Now it kind of looks like a pagoda, or what's it called? That one thing.
A well.
I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like a well too.
Also a road sign.
Yeah. You know?
A Fatina pagoda. A covered bridge.
No, not the pagoda. The fucking
Oh,
a shrine.
the shrine things. Yeah.
They're not pagodas. Pagodas are those like triangle towers. That's
Yeah,
what pagoda is. And then, you know, we would have our bench here. Torii Gate. Yes, thank you. So then our bench.
Torii. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I think I go play full company.
Oh, fine. Goodbye.
Stream fine. Bye, Artie.
Goodbye.
Bye, chat. I love you. Artie, I love you more.
Goodbye. I don't love you. Die. Oh, he's gone. Yes. Woo! Yeah, baby.
That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Lily's so happy he's gone, but so sad at the same time. No, I think she's just happy. Don't get eaten by dogs. Dog time. Dog time. So now we make this a well. Adding a bucket here. And then we put, so how would it work? It would be a circle, and then it would be a line coming off the circle. And then it would be a very sharp angle, like up. And then it would be another. Thing. There we go. I'm a terrible person. No, you're not. Other than the angle or the circle would be less circular and be more kind of like oval, right? Because right now it's like straight on, but we don't necessarily want that because it would be a semicircle with. Is this a well? It would be. It's trying to be one? Yeah. So then this would be more so what it would look like instead. And then we would come off of that with whatever pieces. Look, I'm looking at things from a different light. And as I draw them, I kind of understand, oh, this shouldn't be like this because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Which definitely helps from the gesture drawings. So I'm improving. I'm starting to understand more how things are supposed to look at the angle. Because you wouldn't see the circle at this angle. You would only see like a small portion of it. Maybe if you did like an outline. Kind of like that. Because your eyes will literally lie to you. Well, yeah. How can our eyes be real if mirrors aren't real? Because, like, when I was drawing it, it was looking good, right? To me, at first. But then I took a step back and looked at it. We got proper forms. Well, I mean, that's why next month is anatomy. I'm learning anatomy next month. Like, that's like one of the big things is anatomy and longer gesture drawings. Facial anatomy? Well, yeah. I'll give you facial. I don't know. I mean, I could go straight to anatomy and then move facial drawings later. Don't bonk me! No! How dare. And then obviously if I was being more detailed, I would make the rope bigger because it would technically be bigger, so it would be a bigger rope, and the bucket would be more like this, and then it would be practically straight here, and then we would have another circle, and then we would start to have lines in the bucket, and then we would have another metal thing that comes up, and then that's where the rope attaches. Anyway, but also even that wouldn't be correct because it would be more angled down. That, like, this obviously is a straight on bucket as if it was sitting on the ground. Circle. And then technically this could be a well from straight up, or it could be a book. Who fucking knows? Only I do, because I'm the artist. Anyway, I'm done with art for now. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30... 1, 2, 3... I did 33 then. And then some doodles of a well and other shit. Are you behind? Yes. That would have been today's. I'm missing yesterday's, I think. It's fine. Tomorrow I don't have to do any, so I can do them tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday, which typically is D&D, so I don't do them on Sundays, so I can catch up easily enough to do them. You know. Good job. Thanks, Dad. You're improving? Yes. I am happy with the slight amounts of improvement that I am seeing over times. Obviously, I still have a lot to, you know, do and understand, but as I'm looking at things, and like if I were to draw the same pose over and over and over again, I think I would like get accuracy more down, because when I go back and I look at it, I'm like, oh, well, this should go further over, or, you know, like, for example, this head technically shouldn't be back as far as it is. It should be, like, her neck would be kind of here, and she would be looking towards us, but it would be closer. At least from what I understand. That type of thing. But yeah. Not bad. I gotta pee real bad. Question is, Do I buy that game and invite Lily to play if she's free? Wait, what are you doing today, Lily? Oh, there was an update for Lethal Company? Oh, shit. Flash command, signal, right, great demand, keyboard, delivery joy, jolly spin. Gravity is more dangerous, but improved dimension of generations will be good. Arachnophobia mode to ease your fear. Ah, I see. You're not free right now? Okay. And then I'll probably just end. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I love you all. You all very poggers. We will be live again tomorrow, probably in the morning-ish. They probably turn them into something else. In the morning-ish, or probably early afternoon is actually more like it. Before we switch to D&D, so I'll probably start at like 3-ish, maybe 3 p.m. CST, something like that. Who knows? Depends if I'm sleeping or not. And then we have Pathfinder. Assuming everybody is free, I am going to ping everybody and possibly be like, "Hey, Schmile, can we possibly talk about something? Blah blah blah." I'm not sure. We'll see. I will definitely ping again and be like, "Look, I need somebody to fucking respond, because otherwise, how am I supposed to know when D&D is if not everybody responds?" Because it's not fucking hard to say yes or no or unsure. We'll let know on Sunday. Because, yeah, that's dumb. Group meeting. But anyway, thank you for hanging out. I love you all. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Goodbye for now.